ourselves, we won't let the world burn away, burn away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake it through the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame, haters face the world's mistakes. Wake it through the back of the pack, kill it anyway. And we feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake it through the back of the pack.
Welcome, everybody. Let me get this link shared out and we get started. Also, close the chat.
What you think about when you're born into a fire? Let them burn it out. Sell them to the richest buyer. They wanna let the world decay. They tell us lies and fade away, fade away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake it through the back of the pack, kill it anyway. Listen up now, because we're never dropping out. Beat the odds, beat the big house. The brains are bigger than the doubt. We've been thinking for ourselves, never let the truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves, we won't let the world burn away, burn away. We feel betrayed.
We were hanging out over on Twitch and for about a little over an hour and a half, played some video games, getting ready for the show tonight. I think I'm going to start doing that more often. Play games and hang out and chat with you guys for maybe an hour or two, and then head into the show. If that's not your thing, that's fine. It doesn't have to be, but you're more than welcome to hang out with us. One of the people who does it really well, I think, that seamlessly is able to put out all this content for multiple hours a day, talking about, stuff that happened that day and drama on the internet, stuff he's involved in, stuff other people's involved in, politics in general, is Destiny. And Destiny does it really well, and I think I'm going to try to more closely mimic that over on Twitch. But that's up to you whether you're interested in that or not. Just a second, I'm still sharing the link, but I'll be right back with you. Okay, that's Twitter. Oh, that's a good spot, though. In the music right there. Boom. Oh, shit. Didn't work at first. I got it now, guys. I got it figured out. Anyways, let's roll that beautiful intro and see what's going on. We are live currently on YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, and Twitch. All the platforms tonight, but make sure you follow. If you want to see the show every night, you need to be following over on Twitch. That's where we have it at most of the time. Friday, I try to put it everywhere. but most of the time, you need to be over on Twitch. Check out twitch.tv/coldbeerconfessional, or the quickest way to get there is just type in go to a browser, type in coldbeer.live. It'll take you there automatically. You don't have to have an account. You don't have to pay anything. You don't have to do anything to watch. If you want to chat in the chat, all you have to do is have an account that's free and hit follow, and you can chat with us as well and get access to the emotes, get access to the animation, get access to everything. It's pretty cool. Here we go. Roll the intro.
Hey everybody, it's Tim Cold here. Listen up, you guys are really mad at me because of my last broadcast. I disclosed a God dream where we were all instructed by God to subscribe to Cold Beer Confessional channel on Rumble and BitChute and Twitch and YouTube. Listen, it's not my fault. I have to disclose what I'm told by God. So don't get mad at me. If you want to do something about that, the best thing you can do is go into the comments section on his YouTube channel. Just imagine these guys are you guys going into the Will Bird's comments section and saying things like, your channel is trash, your sunglasses look ridiculous, you're not a real patriot, or, your wife can do better, just anything like that. And for those of you saying that actually that will help his channel because it will bring more engagement and it'll help the algorithm.
Call this guy an asshole.
This past Uncle Tessie.
Everybody attack Melissa
Uncle
over it.
Tessie knows about algorithms, okay? There is nothing Nikola Tesla is more expert at than YouTube algorithms. And if he says it won't affect it, then it won't affect it. So I strongly suggest that you guys get into the comments section and call this guy an asshole.
Welcome, everybody. I do have ads on now, and there will be trivia coming up. So I know some of you guys enjoy the trivia. Some of y'all think it's gimmicky, but I don't really care. It works out good for me. And I feel like you're learning. If nothing else, you're learning something, right? That's not bad. That's not a bad deal at all. Thank you for joining us. I'm Will Bird. This is Cold Beer Confessional Friday show. So we're everywhere tonight on the Friday show. But if you want to see the rest of the show, it's better to follow on Twitch. That's our primary platform. We're there Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Patreon content Tuesdays, Thursdays, and the weekends sometimes. Some of those days, not all of them. And then off other days. You can also find me on like TikTok, YouTube Shorts, YouTube. Replays get posted on Rumble and YouTube later on. Now monetized on YouTube, so that's working well. We finished our sponsorship with Mech Arena. That's what I was playing earlier. It almost sounds like Macarena. It was like, well, that sounded weird coming out. Mech Arena. It was actually a really fun game. I'm still playing it. So if you're all still playing it, you can still look me up. Use my user ID. It's over on Telegram if you're part of my Telegram, and in my Rumble. If you want to search up my user ID, you can add me as a friend. And I was playing earlier with Q Idiot and Maelstrom. So either way, you can check that out. We probably have another sponsorship coming up. The company spoke to me again and said that since we did well, we finished about half the goal of the first one. So since we did well on that, they offered another one, but it's a PC only. Like you can play it on your phone, but I'll only get credit for people who pay on PC. So we'll see how that works out. Either way, we may be running another sponsorship soon. Also, another thing, we were talking about the different schedule and how I might start playing games before I go live for the main show. That'll all be on Twitch. It's up to you if you want to watch it or not. Just to hang out, talk about the day, talk about what you guys have seen, whatever. Light conversation. I don't want to argue or debate or whatever, but we'll hang out and chat, and then we'll do the regular show. I was talking about it because that's what Destiny does, and Destiny basically invented this genre on Twitch. So it's not too bad that way. And speaking of Destiny, I would love to have the success he had, but obviously that's kind of like a fluke. But it would be nice, of course. Destiny made a comment the other day that got me thinking. He said that there are no internet streamers that are non-extreme right-wing. Like the internet streamers you see now are like fucking neo-Nazis or Q-tards or blah, 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 or at least leaning heavily that way. Even some people I was friends with back in the day still lean heavily on conspiracy, still lean heavily on election stuff. Still lean heavily on Trump coming back without an election. Still lean heavily on that shit. And I don't do that. Now, that could be for one of two reasons. That could be because it's not marketable, right? No one wants to hear that shit. Or it just could be that no one's doing it yet. So I'm going to try to fit that. I'm going to try to plug myself in there, I guess, and see what happens. Maybe everybody hates it. Maybe everybody doesn't, but we'll see. Either way, let me switch the screens around and we'll talk about how you can support the show. You can go to coldbeer.fund. That is coldbeer.fund, coldbeer.fund to donate. We just ran a sponsorship, which is the same as donating if you help me participate in those. Thank you. Even if you tried and didn't get to Division 9, I appreciate it. That money will be sent to the stream with, I think it's 60 days or something since we finished it on the 27th. So that's great. But if you want to support the show financially, the best way to do that is you can use bits. We have donation alerts at 500, 600, 700, and 1,000 bits right now. I'm looking for something for 800 and 900 just to kind of round that out, but I haven't figured out what I want to do yet. Or you can go to coldbeer.fund. You can use Buy Me a Coffee. That's the old tried and true where you can leave a text message and I'll read it. It also has like an alert that goes off when it goes off. You can go to Dono Clip. That's the new one we're working with where you can record an audio or video message and we'll play it on stream. The mods approve it and the mods play it as soon as they approve it. So you can leave an audio or video clip there for us. And then, of course, we've got merch if you're interested. T-shirts, racerbacks, raglan 3/4 length, pillows, mugs, and stickers. Pillows, mugs, and stickers. If you're interested in any of that, you can check all that out at coldbeer.fund is the website you pull up. And then here's all my social media links. There's Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Telegram, Facebook, TikTok, Rumble, and Discord. There's always somebody in chat. Always somebody will show up in chat and say, how do I follow you here? Everything is at coldbeer.fund. You only have to go to one site. If you want to donate, if you want to buy merch, if you want to find my Telegram or my TikTok or my Discord, everything is there, all on one page. That's why I made it as easy as it is. That's why it's as simple as it is. There's no pictures. There's no video plug-in. It's just everywhere to follow me and support me is all at coldbeer.fund. You don't need anything else. So if you guys want to check that out, you're more than welcome. And I own two websites. Coldbeer.fund is to support me and follow me. Coldbeer.live comes to Twitch. Like, that's the only two websites I own, and they're pretty simple. They're not overly complicated. You don't have to figure out how to log in or what you're supposed to do there. Coldbeer.live will send you to Twitch. Coldbeer.fund will show you how to follow me and or support me financially if you want to. Either way, what have you guys been up to? We got a show tonight. You're going to talk about a couple different things. Somebody mentioned to me, Phil is on his bachelor getaway. I think his bachelor party's a week. His bachelor's party's a week. Jesus Christ. So anyways, he's going out on his bachelor's party, even though he's so sick he can barely make it. He's got dysentery, I believe. Or so what did he called it something more complicated than that. And then Joe Biden admits that Space Force exists. Joe Biden admits that Space Force exists. There you go, Rudy. If you prefer Rumble, I have Twitch running on mute and watch on Rumble. You're still counting on Twitch? Sure. Anything that helps those numbers. That's what when people approach me for sponsorships, that's what they look at as my average viewers. What are your average viewers? Actually, I use this website. I'll show you guys. It's called Sully, S-U-L-L-Y, Gnome, G-N-O-M-E. Sully Gnome Cold Beer Confessional. And basically you can change the parameters up here, but for the last 7 days, I have an average of 100 viewers. Over the last 30 days, I have an average of 124 viewers. 90 days, 83. I think it gets worse from here, though. 80, yeah. 96. Yeah, it gets worse from there. I guess my best one's right around 30 days, 124 viewers. This is what they use. So if they're paying me by viewers, some places will be like, we'll give you $1.25 per average viewer. They'll pay whatever, $1.25 times 124. Some places will say, okay, well, we expect 10% of people to download it. So if you average stream to 124, we'll expect 12 and a half to roughly to download it. And then what do your replays get? And then they'll check my replays, see what my replays get or my hours watched. And they say, okay, well, that means this many people will also download it. And that's what they pay on. So any way you can help my numbers out on Twitch, that's my main platform, and that would help me the most. Why would those other guys bring printouts of him? they're bringing printouts of Phil. I don't know. I just saw this. Somebody sent me this not long ago, which was the Todd father. Let me see if I can find it. The Todd father in video form out here. Who is the person who sent it to me? I can't remember now. There's Phil, the captain of the couch. The couch captain. What is this you just sent? Austin, for some reason, the videos you send are in a weird format or something. Not the first one you sent me. Like, you just now sent me two, the last two messages you sent. But the second one's like in a weird format. Let's see what this one is.
Woo-wee. It is a goddamn cooker out here today.
Oh, hold on. Let me change this.
Here at the old petrol station. You guys have called it gasoline. And I don't know, it's kind of funny. Yeah, price is up there, eh? Look at that. I almost go broke. You got to be partly millionaires to buy the gas here. Oh, look at this. This is under new ownership. What are the...
Uh-oh. He didn't go.
Do you remember? Gosh, this is some time ago. You had an uncle. He actually owned a gas station, right? I mean, he had a...
Yeah, you just said that.
Work at it. And I remember when you'd have all your high school buddies come on over and fill up their tanks at your uncle's gas. They are $5 or $10 cash, and you would just pocket it all. You know, the gas for free. So you started young. You started young, stealing money even from family. How does that make you feel? You probably, when you were slathering mayonnaise all over the goddamn sandwiches, you were probably taking home the goddamn mayonnaise jars and licking the knives and all that stuff, weren't you? I bet you were, you dirty dog. What are you gonna do? Hey, I have a suggestion also. I think you should buy a gas station and then hire your nephews, I don't know, whatever, family members, and watch them give all the way the gas, all the way to their friends, and watch them pocket the monies. I bet you'd be really happy with that, wouldn't you? Everything comes full circle. Phildo? How does it feel?
I don't think Ramesh is Canadian. I don't fucking trust Canadians. The last one fucked me over.
Nothing is hiding from us. You can't hide from us. We find out everything.
Everything.
This is exactly what you have to look forward to, huh? I would count those cubic zirconians, Phildo probably has millions of dollars worth of cubic zirconiums. So, check the safe out, huh? Ugh. Diamonds. Those are blood diamonds. Actually, they're blood cubic zirconiums. So, enjoy. Made off of all the hard-working people in America that Phil has pilfered the money from. I hope you guys sleep well at night.
He's very wealthy now.
I'm going to go back to enjoy my day, getting some sun. I'm tanning today.
By the way, Shaq to the Future shared some court documents that basically said Phil didn't pay for his property, his land he bought, because he couldn't afford it. And this was back in 2000, I believe. But still, he's a crypto millionaire.
I'm wearing my Speedos here. So you guys are...
I'm sorry, 2020, I think. And he was a crypto millionaire. Couldn't afford to pay for his land.
I'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.
2020 is a big difference. That was Ramesh with an immediate intercept, transmit. Just a lot of catchphrases like Ramesh for Presh 2024. We'll have to get Kim Kukich to do it. Ramesh. Call this guy an asshole. Call Ramesh an asshole. We also had this video submitted.
What? Yes.
Whole lot of shadow dancing. I don't want to put his family on there. A whole lot of shadow dancing. A whole lot of cursing and one finger salutes. And it also looks like Atsuko is eating well. What does she have there? Fish? Some type of fish. So there you go. Atsuko's adventure continues. I think she travels back. Tomorrow. Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's traveling back tomorrow, and that'll be the end of her. I think she's going straight back to Japan. She actually had to have a test done to do it, with the pandemic going on. I think she goes straight back to Japan. Well, I mean, I'm sure she's got connecting flights, but you don't go to any other countries, right? Just the U.S. to Japan. Tomorrow morning. Where's the video I just saw of, sorry, I'm bothered. I can't find it now. Somebody just sent it to me and I was watching it. Nope. Was it in the Patreon clips? Was it in my chat? The video of the Todd father talking about going and playing golf. The hell did I do with that?
Snipes Talker just resubscribed for 11 months. Damn this purple banner, neutral face.
Uh-oh. Thank you very much for resubscribing. I appreciate it. With a neutral face. Facebook Messenger. Okay. That must be where I found it. Facebook Messenger. No, it wasn't. It wasn't Facebook Messenger either. Jesus Christ, I don't know where it went. Anyways, there's a video of the Todd father talking about it, and it exists somewhere. Let me grab, while I'm looking for it, I'll grab a different video to play because I feel awkward now that nothing's playing. So let me go back to Phil's page. So Phil posts Ultra Pepe Lives Matter, Comex Silver. He posts that again. He would probably miss his, someone says he would probably miss his own bachelor party. And then he posts this. So he puts quotes around it. He would probably miss his own bachelor party. End quote. I don't know what the fuck that is. But here it is.
I wanted to shut down the rumor mill that appears to be happening in the chat right now about me not being sick, and instead of being sick, I'm in Catalina at my bachelor.
He loved Catalina wine mixer. He loves this fucking couch, bro. Way too much. Way more than any grown man should be part of this fucking couch.
First of all, I am not in Catalina. As you can see, this is my PA place. I was supposed to travel to Catalina Thursday morning, for my bachelor party. However, Wednesday, I got quite ill. As I explained on the announcements channel the other day, the doctor thinks it was some sort of bacterial infection that I either ingested or picked up somewhere, but it was...
He thinks he got it from foreign people in Havasu, but it's impossible to transfer it from person to person unless you're consuming their bodily fluids.
Extraordinarily painful, and the symptoms are awful.
Did anybody notice that the recorded show that wouldn't upload just happened to coincide with him getting sick and not making any content and just canceling his show 2 days in a row? For internet, for family, for a reason just come up, for whatever. Yeah, he's not a bachelor. He's not even divorced. He's a married man. Bachelor party.
I had a fever for a couple days, and what I'm experiencing now is
That's right. Red pill.
soreness. My back is on fire. I'm still dehydrated. I can't seem to keep food down.
But your face looks puffy.
I've loaded up on electrolytes and fluids and IVs. I've had IVs over the last couple days now and getting another one today.
From Dr. Amanda.
I missed my own bachelor party. My friends that were going with me, most of them still went and are there now, and I hope they're having a good time. The trip was already paid for, so I'm glad to see that they at least went and had a good time. But yeah, I missed my own bachelor party. I guess if you think of it, like, it's better than me missing my own wedding, right?
Well, you already had a wedding and a bachelor party, and you're still married, so
I think it's better than missing my own wedding. But I'm not, people start this stuff and just, it just continues to roll and roll and roll. So I wanted to address it now before it got too far. I'm extraordinarily tired. Most likely because I haven't been eating. I'm also, like I said before, just very sore and very just out of it. I haven't had a fever for a few days. Actually, I think my last fever was, I don't even know what day it is, to be honest with you. So I think my last fever was Thursday morning. If today's Friday, I don't know. I don't know about any of that. So I'm just in recovery mode. I'm laying here under a blanket. My boys went to their mom's so I could recover. And this is where I intend to be. For those of you that don't know me personally, and most of you know me as personally as you could because, we've been together so long now, but for those of you that don't know me personally, when I get sick, I am a baby. Like, I am a giant baby. Everything is so bad because I don't feel good. Ask Carrie, she knows already. So, love you guys.
you're a child all the time, buddy.
As soon as I can.
Like, I don't know what you want me to say. You're a child at all times.
As soon as I am better, I want to do a live because there's so much I have to say. Over this past week with Tucker and the media, and there's so many other things going on that I haven't been able to talk about, and just sucks. Terrible timing of this. So hang in there. I'm on the road to recovery. I love you guys. I'll see you soon.
So that's the video we get from him. I did find the other video I was looking for. It was Melanie that sent it to me. Thank you, Melanie Taylor, for sending me this.
Pre-bridal.
Yeah, he always watches cartoons. We caught him one day. His kids weren't there, and he was watching a YouTuber play Minecraft. Like, he is a child. You can tell from his spending habits. You can tell from his reactions to people calling him out. You can tell from his lies. They're all made from the mind of someone who is not fully developed. And these idiots running around saying he's a genius programmer. Like, have you ever heard him speak or use a computer or watching Minecraft YouTubers?
Pre-bridal and groom event with my friend Phil and
I'll turn it up. I know it's low.
couple other friends. My buddy Mark Young is going to meet us out there, and it's going to be a great week. 5 days. I'm going to call it a week. It's going to feel like a week. I haven't really taken that much time off and not had really anything to do in a long, long time. We got a golf excursion planned, and I don't really golf anymore. Messed up shoulders and back doesn't make golf very exciting, but there's going to be a total of 8 of us there. The other guys thought that would be doable, so I'll suffer through it, and going to go deep sea fishing, something I've never actually done. I have fished in the ocean, spearfishing predominantly, but I've never rigged up and gone out and did the deep sea looking for big things. I've sat in a boat and fished off the edge in the ocean before too, but that doesn't really count. Never went out, dropped deep. So looking forward to that. Probably more than anything on the trip. We'll see the guys is going to be fun, but we're on Catalina Island, if you've ever heard of that. It's one of the prettiest places on earth if you haven't heard of it.
Catalina wine mixer.
We're going to be out there enjoying some sun. It's supposed to be in the 80s. I'm very excited.
So I guess the question would be, if Phil doesn't go, why would anybody go? You know what I mean? It's to celebrate him, right? And it's not a joint thing. The bride isn't. Why would anybody go?
Usually snorkel when I'm in Catalina, but this time of the year the water is 63 or 64, and I don't feel like schlepping all of my snorkel and wetsuit gear and all that mess. Although I'm probably going to regret that I don't the whole time I'm there. But anyway. Good morning, everybody. This is Wednesday. As I just alluded, I'm on vacation from tomorrow very early. I think I leave my house at 4 a.m. and I don't get back until late in the day on Tuesday next week, the 2nd. I think that is. Yep. So I'm not here until
I don't think it's a 7K event, according to inside sources at the company headquarters. Phil has been asked to distance himself from the 7K events. Phil has not been being invited to 7K events anymore.
3rd. And since I'm going to be a couple hours ahead, or behind you guys, I should say.
He's out of breath from rocking his chair.
2 hours different time between here and California. And I don't think I'm going to get rolling out of the sack that early in the morning to make this happen. Plus, I'm going to be in a house with 8 guys. So it's not going to be like I have a private moment or somewhere to go. Anyhow.
You can't have privacy in a house with 8 guys? You don't have your own room or a room that you can use from? What do you mean? What kind of weird trip is this?
Today we are doing...
There you go. Todd Father's update. Phil goes then on to post about First Republic Bank. A lot of people believe that there's no escaping. The First Republic Bank is also going to be taken over by the FDIC, but it's still up in the air whether it's going to happen or not. I just looked it up. There was some, while we're talking about this and paperwork and looking shit up, there was some court paperwork that came out, not with Phil and the Scranton Times, but with Phil and where he's suing the victim, Bree. Where Phil is suing the victim for slander. And those documents were just that her lawyer showed up. It said, it basically says, would you please put in the record that I showed up to represent Bree? And it's a lawyer. His name is Sierra Mboli or some shit like that. It's a weird Italian last name. But that's her lawyer that she's got for it. There is, so the FDIC, this was just 3 minutes ago. FDIC prepares to place First Republic under receivership, source says. April 28th, this is from Reuters. U.S. Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation is preparing to place First Republic Bank, FRC.in, under receivership imminently. A person familiar with the matter said on Friday, sending shares of the lender down nearly 50% in extended trading. So extended trading is after hours, late trading or whatever. But this rumor itself could have done that. You know what I'm saying? If someone come out and said, hey, we're down 11%, so the FDIC stepping in, we don't have the money, blah, blah, blah. That could have made it the 50%, but whatever. That's what happened. That's what happened with Silicon Valley Bank. They didn't do nothing super crazy. They had a lot of their money tied up in fucking treasury bonds like almost every bank, and rumors and Peter Thiel fucking sunk that bank. The U.S. banking regulator decided that the troubled regional lender's position has deteriorated and there's no more time to pursue a rescue through the private sector. The source told Reuters, requesting anonymity because the matter is confidential. Big banks including J.P. Morgan Chase, Chase & Co., JPM.N, and PNC Financial Services Group, PNC.N, are vying to buy First Republic following its seizure by the government, which could come as soon as this weekend. So J.P. Morgan Chase and PNC want to buy the bank. They want to buy all of it, which could come as soon as this weekend. The Wall Street Journal reported on Friday. PNC, J.P. Morgan, and First Republic declined to comment on the report, while the FDIC did not immediately respond to a request for comment. San Francisco-based lender falls if the San Francisco-based lender falls into receivership. It would be the third U.S. bank to collapse since March. First Republic said this week its deposits had slumped by more than $100 billion in the first quarter. Shares of the bank closed down 43%, worsening a stock rout that has wiped out 75% of its value this week. The stock lost more than half of its value on Friday and touched a record low of $2.99. At its lowest, the bank had a market capitalization of $557 million, a far cry from its peak valuation of more than $40 billion in November of 2021. Shares of some of the other regional banks fell, with PacWest Bank Corp down 2% after the bell, while Western Alliance was down 0.7%. FDIC, the Treasury Department, and the Federal Reserve were among the government bodies that orchestrated meetings with financial companies about a lifeline for the bank, Reuters reported early on Friday. News of the imminent move to put First Republic in receivership comes the same day the Federal Reserve and FDIC detailed their supervisory lapses before deposit runs caused the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank. Deposit runs, people running for the money, is what no bank can survive a run. There are no banks that can survive a run. So I don't know what people think banks are, or how they think they're fucking perfect and everybody should be able to get their money at once. That's impossible. You know, a bank doesn't keep your money on hand and just hold it and lose money storing it in a building. Like, they invest it. And a lot of these investments are time sensitive. If you have to sell them early or get out, you're going to lose money. So running on the bank is just going to destroy your fucking bank and the money that you have in it, but whatever. Or you're fucking over your friends or neighbors or whoever invests with those banks, which is crazy to me. All my money's in a credit union, and I'm not worried about it. The Fed's assessment of its inadequacies is in identifying problems and pushing for fixes, as Santa Clara, California-based SVB came with promises for tougher supervision and stricter rules for banks. Large banks had orchestrated an earlier lifeline for First Republic, placing $30 billion in combined deposits from U.S. bank heavyweights, including Bank of America Corp., Citigroup Incorporated, J.P. Morgan, and Wells Fargo and Company. But First Republic struggled to find support from larger banks or private equity firms on its proposed move to create a so-called bad bank or sell assets as securities and mortgages. An earlier lifetime for banking heavyweights. The First Republic studied to find support from larger banks or private equity firms. The large banks who placed the deposits either declined to comment or were not available to comment. An earlier lifeline when they made these large deposits, but First Republic struggled to find support from larger banks on its proposed move to create a so-called bad bank or sell assets. Okay, so they put deposits in. So some of these other banks put deposits in First Republic to kind of shore it up, but they wouldn't support them making a bad bank move or selling assets such as securities and mortgage books. First Republic, which reported its first quarter earnings on Monday, had said its plans to shrink its balance sheet and slash expenses by cutting executive compensation, paring back office space, and laying off 20 to 25% of employees in the second quarter. The rest of the regional bank system feels like it's in a different place than than where FRC is. This is John Gurnera, who's a senior corporate analyst. So there you go. That's the story with it. But Phil says it's happening. See, all the banks are collapsing. This one did, so all of them must be. But that's basically what he says. And here it comes. By the way, he predicted that it wouldn't make it through that knot. So the knot, Silicon Valley Bank, he said that First Republic and other banks wouldn't make it through the knot. But here we are several weeks later. They're still going strong. And now he's saying, see, told you so. Told you so. And then we get these fucking wild pictures, bro. Anyways, here we go. Let's see what we got going on. So there's negative 48 with a there's negative 48 with a cutout of Phil. Why does this look like negative 48 in 10 years? Why does he look like negative 48 in 10 years? What is that? Anyways, so there they go. Got a cutout of Phil. Clearly from a much younger Phil with hair. Somebody went in and photoshopped some hair in there. Very strange. This guy, who looks like someone, both these guys look like someone you wouldn't want your children around. So we got that. That's pretty interesting. That's not his dad. I think it's Carrie's dad. Todd, and he's got a cutout of Phil in a donuts on the pool. Got it. This is very creepy. This guy, who's using the other guy's picture of Phil and holding him by his ears. Oh, two of them have Volcom hats on. I don't know. That's Volcom Salty Crew. I can't tell. Is that Harley Davidson? It's the Harley Davidson logo. I think it's a Harley Davidson hat. Then another Volcom hat. I think that's Volcom, right? That's a skateboarding company. I don't know who this guy is, to be honest with you. There we go. He's got the shirt on, too. Does he fucking work at Volcom? Jesus Christ. Anyways, got him in the back seat in the taxi with him. Got him on a one of those fucking Bluebird or Lime scooters. Great. Great. Awesome. Got him at the desk for to get on their flight. Cool. How amazing. Got him on a Buffalo. Are you seeing how cool this is? Are you seeing? They're taking him everywhere, guys. This is so cool. Got him on a plane while someone licks their lips. And this trend that went out of style in 2005, duck-faced. What the fuck? And he says, it appears I made the trip anyway. K, things are getting weird. Huh. Lol B. Anyways, imagine if a small handful of ridiculously wealthy, powerful psychopaths could make you believe anything they wanted by simply controlling what they put out on the live stream that they do, is what it should say, because this is Phil. He's one of a small handful of ridiculously wealthy, powerful psychopaths that is making you believe the dumbest fucking stories on the internet through his live stream. That he's Edward Snowden. Like, I don't know why he shared. This is him. This is not the fucking TV. This is him. This is Phil. Is an extremely wealthy psychopath. But he still shares it. Just uploaded, this is from Wall Street Silver. Just uploaded to YouTube, silver and gold markets ready to explode. Here's why. Wall Street Silver. So a lot of people do believe that silver and gold will go up. And he says that there might be a 20% rise in gold prices. The problem is that Phil expects a 10, 100, 1,000 to a 2,000% rise. a 2,500% rise, not a 20% rise. 20% rise in market's one thing. That would mean that gold or silver goes from 25 to what, 30? A 20% rise, because it'd be 2.5 is 5. 25 plus 5 is 30. Phil's is saying it's going to go to $50,000 an ounce. $50,000 an ounce. Got it. We get more pictures. Okay. I'm on a boat. Don't you ever forget it. The Catalina wine mixer. Epstein Island. This guy's got an Epstein Island hat on. Looking cool. Oh, I'm sorry. Big Island. Big Island. This guy must have gave this old guy the hat. You think that... Does Carrie have a brother? This is Carrie's dad. Does Carrie have a brother? That might be why they're wearing the same hat. And then we get this picture. Of course, awesome. Looking good. And then apparently Phil's working at Enterprise. Got it. Look at this goofy ass fucking hair they got on his ass. Now clearly Phil has no hair here, but what is this fucking lump on the back of his head? And then this lump on the side of his head. Is this the best fucking cutout they could get? Is this the best fucking cutout they could get? Jesus, look at these. Looks like somebody put some knots on them heads. Then he shares a gorilla saying think. Then he shares these, I guess. Apparently it's a drunken golf weekend as well. Putt, something. Who knows? That was a good video. Well, that was actually interference because it bounced off the field picture and then went in. Uh-oh. Trivia time. What does the United States of America celebrate during the 4th of July? What does the United States of America celebrate during the 4th of July? This should be good. What does the United States of America celebrate during the 4th of July? Remember to vote in the poll. Vote in the poll, right? And on Twitch, if you just put it in chat, nothing's keeping track of that. Those are the strippers for the Catalina fucking wine mixer. Where's Derek when you need him? That's right. Bum, 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 bum. It looks like it's just a set of practice putting greens at a golf course, I guess. If I had to guess what it was, that's what it looks like. Uh-oh. Going again, boys. What do we celebrate on the 4th of July? So help me, you guys better have gotten this right. With 60 votes already. Good job. Well, I guess people can vote extra too, can't they? Well, I'm looking at how nasty the rough is. The rough is completely untrimmed. It's not like or it would be like the fairway, right? It's completely untrimmed. It's shaggy. It's like very rough. Did you guys get it? Chat thought it was the signing of Declaration. Sorry, it was the signing of the Declaration of Independence. What? Hold on, let me end this music. What did it just say? Chat thought it was the signing of the Declar, but I guess because it ran out of words, it just told y'all were wrong. I guess because it doesn't. Yeah, y'all got it right. Congratulations, chat. Good job. See how rough this grass is right here. It should be cut down. If it's like a chip and putt, then it'd be like cut down like a fairway at least, and maybe have some rough areas or even some small sand areas where you could chip out of. But like this is like extremely rough, and then there's just these very good putting greens. I don't know. It's weird. But like they have these at golf courses to like practice and warm up sometimes. Either way. At Suko, I do have a question for you. What are these snacks? This one, and there's a pink one. These are the best Japanese snacks in the world. I'm going to have to start ordering them. I already ate both bags. What are those in English? Here's the pink bag. I'll tell you what it says to me. Lots of pictures. I don't know that I could sound out a picture. I don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to sound out a picture. Delicious rice cracker, Kakiyama original, Arere Okaki gift set produced by Akasaka Kakiyama. I need to know what they are. You guys want to see them? Hold on. I'm going to eat one right now and blame it because chat wanted to see it. All right, so it's like it comes in this little black package, right? A little black puffed bag, and it's sealed like this way and sealed this way, so it's got like a twist to it. You see that? And then I'll give you the ASMR crunch. They're so crunchy. So you open it up. It's sealed for your protection and pleasure. And then it's kind of like an egg, but it's got all these little crunchy knobs on the outside of it. But it's shaped like an egg, okay? And it's extremely hard, but it's got all these little squares on it as well that are like crunched up, okay? So it's obviously not an egg, but it's got all these little squares on it crunched up. Then you bite into it. It's hollow, and it has an almond in the center. It is so good. It is so good. And I know Suko only eats healthy, so it's got to be good for you. Or she wouldn't have dropped him off here. There's an almond in it, and the outside is all this crunchy cracker stuff. I don't know what it's made of. I couldn't even begin to guess. I know the almond. I don't know if it's made out of rice or I don't know. I don't know what the hell it is. Bread? Yes, Kakiyama is the maker. The thing is amazing. A rice cracker. It's so good. So good. Either way, so we get the putt, and then this goofy ass video. Knocked them both over, you son of a bitch. Then we get this. 2.3 million views in 5 hours. Everyone's talking about issue 7. George, false flags narratives. George, false flag narratives. Oh shit! I didn't mean to open that. It says I'm not taking credit for this. No, really, I'm not. Seriously, like for real. You're not. You're not even. First of all, you're not even here. Second of all, we looked at the traffic. They're just fucking lying to you. We looked at the traffic. They're just lying to you. He's not even the top story. It says false flags and narrative. So the magazine just launched and it's growing. They've only had 7 issues. First of all, there's going to be more and more people. If they're doing a good job, there's going to be more and more people showing up. Stop. I have misophonia. They don't listen. There's going to be more and more people showing up. if it's doing his thing. And of course, Phil introduced his audience. But if there's 2.3 million views, even if this was true, why does he claim he has 24 million viewers? Didn't you miss it by an order of magnitude? If you have 24 million viewers and we claim that George Magazine has 0, only 10% of your people went to click on the website when you did a whole show. That's all you talked about, 10%. That's it. I don't know if I believe that. Then he shares a handshake, sunglasses, 100%. Then he says, but the viewership numbers aren't real. They're not. You're claiming 24 million. This is an order of magnitude lower. Plus, their baseline was already about 1 million people. Their baseline was already about 1 million people and growing. But the viewership numbers aren't real, but he buys bots, but grifter. You failed. You can't stop me. You won't stop me. You can't stop us. We are here to stay. You're going to have to run one day, Phil. When your audience figures out how much you've lied, how much you've taken, how much you've done, you're going to have to run from, not me, I could care less. You're going to have to run from them one day. Be an awkward time for your erectile dysfunction to kick in, huh? Anyways, spotted over Miami Beach today. A video from Leland Randleman. What do you think?
Look at it moving. See the light in the clouds?
I went to Police Frequency. I know they've been tagged in it several times. I went to Police Frequency. They've never posted it on their actual Twitter page. I see that other people, Flash J Bang, 2 more people have posted it with 0 fucking engagement, 0 fucking comments. Okay, James Spann posted it. The video was initially posted and debunked a week ago. Check your data. It was today. Go troll someone else. This was on Twitter a few months back. Someone trolled you. Wrong. Just because it was posted once from today doesn't mean that it wasn't posted before. Never mind what I think. What do you think? Maybe like crown flashes. So apparently this was debunked. Hold on. Let me go back and see if I could find that. Most likely electrical or plasma activity involving HARP, geoengineering? No. It says that it was debunked. A lot of people are commenting debunked. So let me see if I could find that. I know. So it seemed to me like the background sounded genuine, but almost like forced genuine. Like people were just talking and saying, oh, you see that? What's going on there? Oh, no. Like it almost seemed like it was too genuine, like forced genuine. But there are people saying that it was debunked a month ago. Crown flash captured. Weird that it's getting less rare, though. Or our funsies. we can call aliens or angels. What is this? Oh, that's an actual crown flash. But that doesn't look like what it is. Hold on. I mean, it kind of does, but it isn't moving as much as they say. 100% of crown flash wasn't there. I don't know if these people are just trolling this guy or they're serious, because the top comments all say debunked a week ago. So let me see if I can find all the replies to these. Hold on. Post the debunking and no, do your own research, see what's out there, learn how to find metadata. Your answers are out there. Seriously, if you make the claim, post the receipt, you're fail. So he didn't post it. This is a new one, not the same one as before. Block this dumb bitch who is stupid enough to buy likes. Nope, the same CGI video on Rumble from a week ago. What kind of idiot does this? Okay, let's go to Rumble. Okay. Not there. Okay. Miami Beach a lot. I don't see it there. I'm trying to read this. I would be interested to see how they debunked it and who did it. I know this guy's saying, no, it was posted today. That's fine. It can be posted today. That doesn't mean, even if it says live stream today, that doesn't actually mean it's true. Great definition fund. That's crazy. Nope, flashes don't move like that. That's truly spectacular. Give them receipts, James. Wow, fascinating. Oh, great work tracking it down. It's very cool. Never cease to be amazed by the new phenomenon. I saw a video on the unexplained with the same phenomenon. That's so cool. Blah, blah, blah. Fascinating. Get the toolest cool ever. Extremely rare. But hey, look, another one. Is it on? Is this a YouTube link? I can't even tell where that link is. Never ever contradict the great James Spann. This guy that says it was debunked is a military guy. It says husband, father, military, something, something. It says it was debunked. I would like to see it, though. I don't know. I could spend my own time checking that, I guess. Either way. All right, so it says spotted over Miami Beach today. Video from Randleman. What do you think at police frequency? And then we get something from Cecine Maciel, and it shares Phil's links, and it said, I said the other day, whatever you promote skyrockets. You the man, you need to be nicknamed Midas. Laugh out loud. I don't know what this is in. What this is fucking. What is this? Forwarded from this person, and it has t.me/Phil Godlewski. I said the other day, whatever you promote, skyrockets. You the man, you need to be nicknamed Midas. And then he shares this weird GIF from Fortnite. He says, I'm feeling better. Thanks again for all the well wishes and prayers. One more day, and I believe I'll be fully recovered. That way he can still go to his week-long bachelor party. So there you go. It won't be long. Oh, it isn't. Is it Midas from Fortnite? I know it's from Fortnite because I can tell by the background. That's weird that Phil would even know that. Whatever. And then he says, tell me again, space is real. Go ahead. I dare you. God's hand. I don't even know what the fuck this is supposed to be. This is a star through a 250 times telescope. Okay. Star through telescope. God's hand. First of all, it doesn't even look like a star, but okay, we'll see. It's from a channel called 2018 Flat Earth, so yeah, it's probably not true, but we can check it out anyways. Wait, how do we know there's not something in front of the telescope? If you want to be impressed by something, there is an image from NASA called God's Hand. It's like a cloud of it's a cloud of dust and particles and shit from an exploded star. And like hold on, I'll just find it. The Cosmic Hand of God photo was produced when a star exploded and ejected an enormous cloud of material, which NASA's nuclear spectroscopic telescope array, or NuSTAR, glimpsed in high-energy X-rays, shown in blue in the photo. NASA Chandra X-ray Observatory had imaged the green and red parts previously, though with lower energy. So check out this photo. If you want to be impressed by like a hand photo, here's a good one. Like that literally looks like a hand reaching up. Doesn't it? It literally looks like a hand reaching up. You're not going to convince anybody with this fucking shady shit. Okay, now I can guarantee you it's not a star. Whatever it did, it put waves into it. It's not a fucking star. And why does it have eyebrows? A human hand. That is something on the lens. That is something in the... This is not what it purports to be. They are energy connected to you. That bitch sounded like she was dying in the audio. That bitch sounded like she was fucking dying. I'm sure that's already been debunked as well. Oh, here's one. It's on TikTok. Okay, that's why I went viral from a month ago. I wonder if anybody responded to it. Giants trapped us in a snow globe. We are being monitored inside a microscope. They do look like frequency waves. Some know. Some will know pretty soon. All will know. Amazing. If this doesn't prove we are living in the firmament, then I don't know what is. Definitely a hand. I've seen some things in the astral that are similar. I've always tried to zoom in on stars and not sure what the energy, but light on us. Creation is so simple. Their lives will cost them everything. Be not afraid. The stars are not stars. They are angels waiting for God's commands. For now, they just watch as they were instructed. The cross shape visible on stars is a form of distortion in all telescopes. They use a mirror rather than a lens to focus light rays. Looks like an eye, not human hands. Notice it's looking through the face of the deep waters. Genesis 1 and 2. People clearly using sound waves and water with the light on, and they're projecting the image off the firmament glass, making it appear large. The fuck? What does that mean? God doesn't have flesh and bones. It's only a spirit. Emerald tablets. Zoom away from it so we can get two different perspectives. It's true. I was there. Of course you are. The star reminds me of an angel described in the Bible called Ophanim. It looks like a drop of water. Are we looking at light, sound, semantics, the ultimate artist, someone who actually knows what they're talking about? Please explain this. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. I believe there are giant people walking around in space, but I'm scared now, to be honest. Cool. It could be a light underwater and the person is moving the water. That's what I think. It was something underwater. It was zoomed in and it was something underwater and they were moving water in front of it. Looks like a cornea. It looks like an eye. Yeah, it does look like an eye. I was trying to see if someone fucking explained this instead of just a bunch of people praising God and talking about giants. Your mind is designed to seek patterns. Those gaseous explosions millions of miles away. Relax, people. The interference only happens when the hand is in frame. If it was gaseous explosions, the entirety of the star would be distorted. Oh, I thought of a way that you can prove Earth's rotation. I was watching a video, and I challenged flat earthers to do this and explain it any other way. If you build a pendulum, okay? If you build a pendulum, everybody knows what a pendulum is, right? A ball that swings back and forth, or a weight on the end of a string that swings back and forth. If you build a pendulum, and what you want to do is pick it up and drop it once, and the line that it's swinging in, here, I'll draw it. This is an easy way that people can prove that we're on a globe. There's no other way to explain it whatsoever. But we could do this fucking experiment. We can all fucking do it. Okay? So what made me think about this is there's a thing called pendulum hours. And it depends on where you're at in the world. Or a pendulum days. And it depends on where you're at in the world and how many hours it takes. So listen. You want to build a pendulum, which would just be like a string with a weight on it that swings back and forth, right? Okay? And then you want to set that on a round base. Boom, 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 boom. Or any type of base. Now, what you want to do is we're going to be looking at, this is the top-down view. So this is the top-down view. Okay, this is what it looked like from the side. So what you want to do is you'll have your string and stuff attached above this, right? And here's your weight, and string will be attached above this. And then you want to pull that pendulum back and let it go. And then it'll swing back, and it'll come back this way. Now, what you want to do is watch that pendulum over immediately when it starts swinging. And immediately when it starts swinging, you want to mark this path on one side. Let's say every time it comes towards you on one side, you want to mark this path that it's taking, right? It'll seem like it keeps taking this same path over and over again. But what will actually happen is in several hours, you'll come back and that mark will be there, but the pendulum will actually be spinning in this path. And if you record how long it takes for the pendulum to go all the way around and hit the same path, that is something called pendulum days, a pendulum day. Now, at the North Pole and the South Pole, if you were directly on the pole, it would take 24 hours for the pendulum swinging along this line for the whole thing to go around and come back to the same line. Why? Because the pendulum is swinging with no forces acting upon it, and it'll keep swinging, right? But the ground underneath it with the base is twisting and moving. This base is moving around underneath your pendulum. And at the North and South Pole, it takes exactly 24 hours because you're on the point of axis. You're on the spin. And the further you get away from the North or South Pole, the longer it takes. So I started looking up, and somewhere around like where I live, it should take about 35 hours instead of 24 hours. But if you get to the equator, it's indefinite. It'll never come back around. If you're dead on the equator, it won't, because you're on the center of that spin. It won't go anywhere. It won't go anywhere. I've tried to understand what in the world this fellow is about. I can't. You know, I'm cursed with an 11-inch dick and amazing humor. I don't know what to tell you. Bye. If you're on the equator, it'll stay on the same track. There's no other way to explain that other than globe Earth. There's no other way to explain that other than globe Earth. None whatsoever. And anybody can make a pendulum and let it swing for a few hours. The ground is moving under the pendulum. The ground is moving under the pendulum, which gives rotation. And if it wasn't a globe, then you wouldn't have different pendulum days. Like the North Pole wouldn't be exactly 24 hours, and then longer. Also, there's this. If you're in the northern hemisphere, your pendulum as it goes will go the way I drew it, clockwise. If you're in the southern hemisphere, the pendulum will go counterclockwise. No other way to explain that other than a fucking globe. The term clockwise most likely comes from when we had sundials. The shadow on a sundial in the northern hemisphere goes clockwise, what we call clockwise. And in the southern hemisphere, it goes counterclockwise. Well, we built them in the northern hemisphere, so that's where that's the way the shadow goes, that's the way the clock goes, that's clockwise. That's where the term comes from. And that's probably why clocks track that way and everything else we made, right? Clocks always spin clockwise. So you can't explain that other than a fucking globe. There's no other explanation whatsoever. There you go, Phil. There's your flat earth lesson for the day. Phil's probably watching. He likes to watch this on days he's playing sick. One day he was in our chat for like 4 or 5 hours and then told his stream, oh, I can't go live. I'm too busy. I got a bunch of personal stuff going on, while he was hanging out in our chat talking to us because he's fucking weird and wants people to like him even though they fucking hate him. Like he's got this weird complex where he wants everybody to fucking like him. I don't know. Like he's got the money, I guess, and he still can't find any happiness whatsoever because he's not balls deep in a child. But I guess he wants everybody to like him too. Either way, there you go. That proves the earth is a ball. The earth is a ball. I think that's the last thing he posts. Let's grab it. Yeah, that was it. Tell me again, space is real. All right, now Lala Bell said that she sent me the Oh, I didn't see these posts either. She said she sent me the president saying Space Force today. So let me see if I can find that. Oh, there it was. I just saw it, but I clicked off of it. Let me grab it again. It's over on the Debunking Derek Johnson Facebook page. Debunking Derek Johnson Facebook. And, I'm sorry, Exposing Derek Johnson.
And we're 10 of these cadets.
Here we go.
We're 10 of these cadets behind. We officially become officers of the United States Air Force and Space Force and Space Force.
Oh God!
And
how?
10 of these cadets behind. We officially become officers of the United States Air Force and Space Force.
I thought he wasn't allowed to say it because he's not the real president.
Space Force and Space Force. We're 10 of these cadets behind. We officially become officers of the United States Air Force and Space Force and
Save me, Derek Johnson.
And Space Force and Space Force. We're 10 of these cadets behind. We officially become officers of the United States Air Force and Space Force and Space Force and Space Force and Space Force. We're 10 of these cadets behind. We officially become officers of the United States Air Force and Space Force and Space Force.
This is just play on loop forever for Derek Johnson.
Space Force.
So there you go. I wonder if they got any other good bits. They did lie. It's not going to charity. Certificate of existence, boots and refuge, active Tennessee, perpetual Crossville, AR exemption. Remember when I told you about the fake charity I said you guys should check into? Nonprofits in Tennessee can be divided into two categories: public benefit nonprofit corporations, commonly referred to as charities, which exist to serve public causes, and mutual benefit nonprofits, which exist to serve their members, such as homeowners association. Is this a mutual benefit? Perpetual certificate of existence. A mutual benefit corporation's mission is to serve its own members, while religious and public benefit corporations serve the public. Some common examples of mutual benefits corporations include professional associations, homeowners associations, unions, chambers of commerce, social clubs, and fraternities. Business entity details, perpetual, 720. I don't see, where does it say mutual? Does it say it here somewhere? Am I just missing it? It's time, okay. AR, mutual benefit corporation, yes. So they did fucking lie. They did fucking lie. God damn it. I knew it sounded like a fucking scam. A brand new charity just started and a bunch of bullshit going on. I knew it sounded like a fucking scam. Mutual benefit, they don't have to give any of it to the public. It belongs to its members. Who are its members? Fuck. That's why they threatened me when I asked about the donation amount from the concert where Derek was heading on Saturday. Interesting that Derek didn't mention or any pictures on his page so that his followers know how much was supposedly donated. Yeah, they didn't put any statement about how much they donated. What a fucking piece of shit. What a piece of shit, dude. God damn it. They scammed a bunch of people and told them it was for homeless veterans. Turns out they don't even support only homeless veterans. They support any homeless person, and apparently they don't even support them. You could take the 5 worst presidents in American history and put them together, and they would not have done the damage Joe Biden has done. What damage? I thought Derek said Biden wasn't even the current president. I thought he said Trump was president because of laws and orders and generals throwing a coup. I thought Biden received a military funeral and is awaiting execution in Gitmo. I guess you failed to convince Stacey on the right, Fox News, and Trump, Derek. You suck at being Trump's spokesperson, Derek. Oh, there's another page. Derek can't stop lying. Is that another page? Oh, shit. Derek can't stop lying page. Derek Johnson, this is all garbage, political garbage, same division, same politics. That's why I have the nickname Baby Trump. What do I speak about? God, Bible. He's a pussy, political shit. There it is. Conceding 2020. Okay, that was a text from a while back from Baby Trump. Yeah, some of these are older. But it is a page there. Derek Johnson says, I explain all over the videos and podcasts and apps that allow more characters to appease the surface people like you who have nothing better to do than to bitch and bash. Sit down. Bro, I'm new here. Chill. Bitch and bash. Could this be the reason why Derek's fan base is dwindling? I hope he wants to those donations, those donation monies to keep rolling in. He'd better check his attitude. That's true. You kind of have to cater to him till you get big as Phil. Then you can just tell him to fuck off. You might lose it all in court anyways. Everything Derek Johnson says goes against our Constitution. American Business asks you to get mail. Goes against the Sixth Amendment. Derek, you are no patriot. That's true. David Lester Straight. Let's talk about the vampires that feast on the blood, adrenochrome, and flesh of children. They create organizations to fund the wolves who procure children for the vampires. Many of these organizations are set up to appear as child rescue organizations like Veterans for Child. Oh my God. He's calling out Veterans for Child Rescue. They hunt children as prey. Wow. Wow. They hunt children as prey. That is a bold stance there to take. Derek is struggling to get a lot of comments on his post while BFF Kelly is getting hundreds. Yeah, Derek's a piece of shit. I saw this on Kelly Brady's post today, so it must be true. Good morning, Kelly. I saw pictures that Elon Musk yesterday went to Congress and met with South Korean guy. Kind of weird to me. Or is Musk really JFK Jr.? Well, I can tell you. Yeah, we don't agree with this. We don't support this. We don't do anything with this but make fun of it. Thank you, Twitch, YouTube. This is a great interview with TNT Radio and Timothy Shea. Okay, let's go and get in the comments. Legal experts. Oh, no. Comments on yet another flight tracking post. Will the future be chaos or tranquility? Derek's people have both possibilities covered. Interested to know what folk will do if 2024 is stolen again. Where do we go from there? Genuine question. If one machine malfunctions, one window covered during the count, or one count observer removed, then I'm pretty sure you'll see chaos that makes the Antifa and BLM riots look like a tea party. Wow, that's a lot of military planes. Don't care about the money. It's air anyways, and the future will be without tax and end of modern slaves. As we were, our future where humanity will help their neighbors and the ones in need out of free will from their hearts. End of wars, end of hunger, end of all created by the deep state for their bad agenda that was there for thousands of years. Okay. It's weird when you misspell hearts. Which social media account does he use most often? Is he going underground with his movements? He doesn't seem to publicize his event until a few hours before or afterwards. Who is he hiding from? Look at this. Look at this goofy son of it. Look at this picture, guys. Who would follow this guy and think that he's a fucking secret agent? Are you kidding me? Who? I mean, I understand old ladies and grandmas, but god damn, look at this picture. No one forced him to post this. No one made him. He looked at this and said, oh, I look good in that picture. I think I'll put it up. I think I'll put that one up. I take a good picture. I think that was a good one right there. I think I'll put it up. I think I'll post that for my fans. He's Baron in a mask. He's something. I don't know what, but he's something. Oh yeah, is Derek the one who went on J. Cole recently? Is that what somebody told me? Let's see. Let's go to was Derek the one that went on J. Cole recently? Yeah, it is. Okay, we got it. Never mind. Let's grab this. See what's going on over here.
Hello, everybody. It's Mike Jacob with Unleashing Intuition Secrets. And I got Derek Johnson. He's a country music hit singer. He's basically revealing unbelievable stuff as far as like military law and really cluing us up on a lot of good stuff. His reveals have been over the top.
Michael Jaco should know this isn't real, but he's been grifted for so long. Who knows?
If he starts to report on some stuff that we think he is, then you're never gonna have to buy a beer or anything for the rest of your life.
Well, I guess that's never a bad thing to never have to starve again, or at least thirst a little bit. But
that's right.
Yeah. So. Especially me. I have to wear bulky jackets to look like you. So everybody's always like, "Boy, do you ever eat?" And I'm like, "Come on, man, come on."
It's all you're like a long, tall drink. It's like it's pretty good.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I don't know. We're getting ready. I just got off the phone a while ago with my contact.
You think his following's dwindling, guys? For real, or are you just joking around?
Quite the ticket, but I mean, what an opportunity on the flip side. I mean, every time I get off the phone, I'm like, man, thank you for reaching out to me. I mean, but still, it's the main thing I'm sweating right now is I had to renew my passport. So I did extramite it. So it's like, but I'm still always waiting for that. So I know when I get it in the mail, it's gonna be even more awesome. But because I got he sent over my press pass today, so that was kind of cool to see.
Ooh, wow.
See the name and the lanyard and things like that. So that it does make it a little bit more You know, it's like a state.
Anybody can print off a press pass, guys. Everybody's the media under the U.S. Constitution. Go print your own press pass. Put your picture on it if you want to. Change your name to Dick Dribbling. It doesn't matter.
It's really happening. Yeah, it's really happening. Because I saw you on Nicholas' show with Louis Herms, and you basically revealed, as far as I could tell, that you're basically going down there to report on the military tribunal. So it'll be pretty cool. Pretty cool to see that. So there's no telling, when,
he's got a press pass to go to the tribunals. Obviously, he's lying. There are no fucking tribunals in Gitmo. None of that's fucking shit. These people are still U.S. citizens. It amazes me how far some groups will go to have people killed that they believe, without seeing any evidence, just hearing people talk about it, that they believe have tortured and killed or whatever, that they'll just like, oh yeah, hang them. Yeah, kill them immediately. What if somebody started those rumors about you and you didn't get a fair trial? You didn't get fucking any jury. You didn't get, you didn't get all the rights that you're afforded. They just want to quit a fast lane to kill anybody who's against them politically, which is crazy.
They'll reveal any of that, or if they reveal any of that, you're just going down there and that's all you know. You're going down there to report on whatever.
So far, yeah. I mean, I do have a calendar, but anybody can access it.
Weren't you leaving earlier, retard?
I was looking at it way back in November. It's been the same name. Of course, you and I know that they won't put any names up because that's obvious leakage. Right. I mean, that'd be a dead giveaway, right? And but it's I did hear some stuff today. I don't know how much I'm supposed to say. But, I mean, we obviously know there's going to be some surprise guests down there in a different sense, not guests, but it's our joke, basically, inside joke.
Absolutely, press pass wouldn't do shit at Gitmo.
And now it's going to be the people who put them there. We're kind of like reversing those roles in a different way. I try not to be as funny, but then again, it's like, I don't know. I used to watch all these shows years ago, and I watched a show one time on a warden from the Walls from Huntsville, Texas, and they asked him, how do you feel when you put someone to death?
If you don't like the show, don't watch. No one's forcing you to be here.
How do you feel when you go home from this job? And he was like, I sleep like a baby. He's like, I didn't do the crime. And I was like, dang, that's.
Yeah, by the way, Nancy Drew tried this grift before, saying she needed to raise money to travel to Gitmo, but she had been invited to sit in on the trials to watch and to report on it. That's where I got the idea for Nick Swick when I did it.
That's when you want to do the man, that's bold in one way. And I try to keep an equilibrium because in one way it sucks and sad that we had to get to this place in the world. But at the same time, the Bible and different things throughout history have shown us that we do get here. And it does require a certain type of people to know, okay, well, if it's not someone else, it's going to be us. Right. So you might as well knock out evil. And so it's trying to get people to understand that, people who may be on this side of the aisle who doesn't understand, there are some extremists out there and I don't care who you are and how you want to live your life. So, but it is a cool opportunity to get to see that and get to talk. And of course, it's I got the DOD itinerary too. So, I mean, I see the emails and it's CENTCOM. I mean, there's no secret to it.
Wow.
So nothing that someone, I mean, let's just say someone's email got hacked, right? And then that Word document's on there. I mean, so there's all kind. They wouldn't put stuff on there if it couldn't be known.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So it's gonna be pretty exciting. So they give you all kinds of you could stay in like a barracks type room, or you can have like a hotel room if you want to fund that or whatever. What did you choose?
So whoever that was in the chat earlier was saying that Jaco believes that Derek is going to Gitmo. I thought you meant that Jaco believed that he was going to Gitmo. I see what you're saying now, because you said Jaco believes he's going to Gitmo to report on the trials. I thought you meant he believed he himself was going.
You got accommodations.
Come on, let's do the Barrett. Let's just go ahead and enjoy it. It's almost like getting to be in the military again. So that's the way I look at it. It's like I'm gonna do the Barrett thing just for fun of it.
Nice. You can always switch over.
I'm not gonna. Yeah, maybe.
You hated the military. You were tortured. Remember?
So they got that getting set up, and of course I got to learn a little bit of equipment that I'm taking with me. That way I can record or report from it. Because basically I'll be reporting for a station. So it's like a 2-in-1 job, but still it'll be me down there, and I think I may get to take one other person. So I may.
All right, so let's duplicate this and go to Nicholas Vianaman. I don't know how you spell it. What is his channel name? So Derek Johnson was on there before. Let's see if someone shared it. Stupid, yeah. Just like that, Derek. So that's the show where he announced it on. We need to hear this Gitmo announcement. The fuck? Hey, dickhead, imbecile, fuck off. Pick a side. You don't want to believe you're an idiot, lied to, and you fell for your total incompetence because of indoctrination. Gotcha. Trump says the Biden administration. Is that how you spell his last name? Thank you. Phenomenon. Well, that's not right. Okay, but what's the name of his? It's not Patriot Street Fighter. His show is like something TV. Mel K show. I guess I could have just searched Derek Johnson. Let's do that. What was that last one? Oh, that was Mel K. Let's do not Derek's, Johnson's. Derek Johnson, huge intel military operation, 24 final battle. There he is wearing something retarded again. Huge intel. There he is with Jaco. Elijah Streams. NVTV. Oh shit, I didn't know it was that simple. Inspired channel. Okay. Oh no, it's under his name. Nicholas Phenom. No, that's a fake one, isn't it? Or is this the real one? There's Jaco. Yeah, I don't see Derek Johnson anywhere. There. Oh, there it is. Lewis. That was 22 days ago. How old is this one? 4 days ago. No, I think it was more recent than that. That might be a fake Nicholas Viamanon channel. Viamanon channel. NVTV. See if it pops up top. NVTV Bigfoot. Nah, it's named something else. What is the name of NASA's most famous telescope? You guys ought to know this. What is the name of NASA's most famous telescope? We'll start the music now. It's the one with Lewis Harms. Is that what you're saying? Somebody just said it is the one with Lewis Harms. James Webb isn't even an option, and it hasn't been around long enough to be the most famous. It just went up and started sending back shit. Or it just got to where it's supposed to be, I guess. One more time. What you got for us? I think with the James Webb telescope, the first images weren't released until like summer of 2022, even though it launched in 2021, I think. Was it the one that launched on Christmas Day? It's a deep space telescope, James Webb. Oh, did you guys get it? Chat thought it was the Death Star. Sorry, it was the Hubble. Man, you guys tried. Potato, potato, I guess, right? Chat thought it was the Death Star. It was indeed not the Death Star. Thanks for playing. It was the Hubble. The Hubble. Somebody said it actually is Nicholas Phenomenon. And I guess it's going to be the one with Lewis Herms. But that seems like a long time ago to be for Jaco to be bringing it up now. But I guess maybe they couldn't schedule the interview or something. Here it is. I just want to hear him announce it. It's called Tribunals Are Very Close, so maybe that's it. That's right, Todd. You got it. I just Googled copyright-free trivia music, and I found that one.
Welcome. Today we've got Lewis Herms and Derek Johnson, and today we are going to be discussing how we're getting closer to the tribunals and arrest, and we the people win. Now, just before we begin, you can subscribe to my Rumble channel, nvtvnews.com.
Oh, well, I am super fantastic. Working hard, trying to finish up this documentary, truth tours. I mean, just, you name it. Anyways, all I know is I am extraordinarily excited about the direction everything's going. And I think Mr. Derek Johnson and his comms will probably detail that better than I can, but this will be fun.
Absolutely. Now, Derek, how are you, first of all? What have you been up to? It's been a while since we did our interview. I'm really hoping to have you back once a month because you're phenomenal. I really love how you think. I love your confidence, how you execute and deliver the information. You bring so much confidence to the people. So what have you been up to, sir?
Johnson Herms disease. It does.
Buy me a drink now?
God, you know, I don't know how to tell you this, but I got the Johnson Hermes. I got the Johnson Hermes.
Wait till I get to the States.
Yeah, we got to crack everybody up.
Is he going on a date with Nicholas Phenomenon? Will you buy me a drink now? Take me to dinner first. Put on some lipstick because I look pretty when I get fucked. What?
All right, I've been writing on the book, so that's been my main focus, writing this book. I did sign a publicity contract to go mainstream and for radio and TV, and I've been dropping those dimes on radio. And boy, are there a lot of people out there that don't have a clue what's going on, and they're talking heads. So I've been doing that, and you only have 20 minutes, and so I had to learn to condense down 150 years to 20 minutes, and then get on mainstream radio. They're like, "Hey, you got 5 minutes." So
Newsmax on, or when we have a look at like in this executive order, it said that they're going to be arrested. Trump said it like this.
Well, there's two things, and Lewis will attest to this too. There's two things. One, this was part of the plan for years for them to do that to you, to get you glued in on this TV and to not make you go rabbit hole, because it's a trust factor, right? Oh, this person, they seem nice. I resonate with their voice. I resonate with their tone and all this, and they just focus on that. They forget about what our duties and our obligations and our rights are with the Declaration of Independence. What it says, our duty and our right to overthrow such government that goes against its foundation.
By the way, that's Trump as Paul Revere on that horse, if you're wondering.
So they get so focused on this, they don't even realize what's going on behind the scenes. The second thing is a code. Here you go. When Donald Trump,
it's not that big a deal to. I mean, I guess it is for Derek. I've been on the radio before. I've been on iHeartRadio. I've been on some Apple podcasts. I've been on the radio. I don't think it's that big a deal. Jesus Christ.
That was a visual for the people, but when you go back and look, there was 2 continuity directives put into place. It's very key, and I think I need to explain today what a continuity of government is. We'll see that this past weekend, I had a Newsmax girl wanted me to say something about Trump's indictment, right? And the guy was like, "Do you know who this guy is? Because he'll roast TV." Well, she said, "What would you say?" And I'm like, "I would say, 1, if you trust the man, trust the plan, and Executive Order 13848. She was like, "Oh no, you can't say that." And I said, "Well, I know that because you guys are under a code." So they're under a code, and that code is actually titled War Powers of the President, and it's to control TV, internet, and radio broadcasts, and also closing of government facilities. So
how fucking dumb.
And then the flip side is when the line was drawn in the sand, media is being controlled. So,
and say the other top, everything that CNN, well, but they get less of you making money, pay for a spot. The things that we really need to pay attention to, and these, you know what I mean? So three main.
No, here in the UK, and arrested. What's happened? And I said, no, she lost here on BBC of impeached. Trump's going to be impeached. And
there's that 47 U.S. Code 606 again, and Trump is supposed to look like he loses right up to the point that he wins, right? It's always, that's a 5D chess card, chess play. I call it a card because it's a Trump card, but it's 5D chess. And that's what the man's known for.
That's a 5D chess card on the roulette wheel of life. King me.
And you can look at multiple videos. The lady that was on Shark Tank, I was watching a video of her the other day, and she was like, Donald was trying to sell a building in New York, and you know, it looked like he was not going to sell it. Right, it was right up to the brink, and then the next day they're like, they bought everything. You know, so it's like he looks like he's about to lose, and then
that's not the story she tells. They prepared a presentation to sell this one piece of property, but instead he sold them a different property they didn't even prepare a presentation for. She didn't. He didn't act like he was not selling it, and then they bought everything they owned. It was a real estate firm. They owned a ton of stuff. He doesn't even get the story right.
The other thing is, where's the picture? Right? When you know, anybody I've ever known that I've never been arrested, thank God, but anybody I've ever known that did it, you know, they had a picture. And so it was, you know, you make jokes about, oh, you've always said you're 6 foot.
It doesn't always happen.
It actually shows you at 5'8". So, you know, you make fun of your buddies. So, you know, where's the picture? And as we know, Fox News, talking about the mainstream, Fox News, and also Lewis said it happened in Australia, but Fox News over here, here you go, Big Box News, a guy on the news goes, the former president and the current president getting indicted. Well, that's my main thing is I've been telling people, you know, he is the current president, but he's acting as commander in chief because they're two separate roles, two separate duties, two separate obligations, two separate laws. But you cannot arrest a sitting president. That's under justice.gov. Now, you'll hear a lot of propaganda out there, and you can go to Google like you're talking about, and you can Google, and it'll have CNN, and it'll have all these mainstream people saying you can be. No, when you go to actual justice.gov, our government site, it says you cannot indict a sitting president. So he didn't get indicted. There's that term again, the same thing as he got impeached. He didn't get impeached. It only went to the House. It didn't go to the Senate. So, you know, people want to use.
That's not true. And I think you guys should know this by now, right? Impeachment is bringing charges. Now, he didn't get convicted. He 1,000% got impeached. Right? So impeachment is what the House does to bring charges. Okay? And then the Senate brings the charges and decides guilty or innocent on those charges. The part that happens in the House, is the impeachment.
Those terms. And of course, Boss Man does it because they're doing it, and it's all part of the plan. So it's like I tell people, if you trust a man, trust the plan. It's all rolling into our topic of the day, tribunal.
The guy in blue? Is that who you're talking about? That's Lewis Harms.
Very, very interesting, which we're going to get into the tribunals very shortly, and we want to be very factual. We want to use executive orders. Lewis, would you like to explain what you meant by the media saying what they said in Australia?
Yeah, well, virtually the same thing as they said here is that current president is the words they used, which, you know, it's not an accident.
Impeachment is basically a charge of misconduct. It is placing of the charge to call into question whether something's valid or it lacks integrity. That's the impeachment. That's what the House does. Now, then there's a separate trial. That's different. That's a removal from office. But the impeachment happened. He was impeached.
Just be very clear about that. It's supposed to look like an accident because there's three things going on here right now. If we really pay attention, so any patriots that...
And it's always been like that.
It's not happening the way I want it or something's not happening. You need to consider these three things. Go read the book, The Art of War.
He was the third president to be impeached. Andrew Johnson, Bill Clinton, and Trump. Is it Johnson? That popped in my head immediately, but I might not be right.
Very, very thin read. It'll be The Art of War. Because Derek delusion. The other thing we need to this point, there fits or things name think he's a what theory. 1 out of 3 we're good with, right?
2022, when Donald Trump announced 2024, what everybody thought was an announcement, he said a line in there. It just went right over the majority of the people's heads, except for the few of us, like he's saying, that already knows. We've dug deep, we've studied. But Donald Trump said, my administration has kept us out of wars for decades and decades. I mean, one decade, plural, could be 2, 3 decades, right? But he used decades and decades. My administration has kept us out of wars for decades and decades. I mean, that right there, it can mean a lot of things. But at the same time, we know he was best friends with a lot of people who are iconic from the JFK era. And then also The Art of War. He wrote a book that replicates that, The Art of the Deal. So it's like to Lewis's point there. I mean, his whole life has been around this method and this ideology. But I think it also I don't think Donald knew it at the time, but I think he didn't realize God was directing him too in that way, because we've led to this point for thousands of years in the U.S., maybe 150 years if you want to make the pinnacle the Organic Act of 1871. But the world's been this way. So this is a biblical movement. It's a biblical, monumental, historical. I'm glad to be alive.
Thank you, Derek. And Lewis, do you want to add anything there?
I would. He said something I thought was very, very impactful. Is even President Trump, Donald did not know that he was being directed by God at the time. And I think that's what's very, very special right now. And Derek, I know this has happened to you. I've had several so-called white hats, so on and so forth, try to call me and direct me. And I said, I only take direction from God, and I pay attention to we the people. The only person I probably pay attention to is maybe a President Trump or somebody right next to him.
You're right. But Nixon was done by the Senate, right? It was done directly by the Senate. I think the reason that Bill Clinton, Johnson, and Trump are separate was because they were officially impeached by the House. Nixon's impeachment was directly by the Senate, I think. There's something weird there where they're not grouped together. I can't remember.
Gave me a call, and then I would pay attention. But other than that,
he was not impeached. Hold on, let me see.
Everything divinely is going to come together, and there's nobody that does it better than God, in my opinion.
When you're a billionaire, and
it was not impeached. Hold on.
And then you decide.
House of Representatives commenced proceedings to consider impeaching. Oh, no. So I was wrong about that. Political investigations began in February. The Senate established a committee to investigate Watergate scandal. The public hearings of the committee were sensational, including the evidence of John Dean, Nixon's former White House counsel. The committee also uncovered the existence of the secret White House tape recording, sparking a major political and legal battle between the Congress and the president. On February 6, 1974, the House of Representatives passed House Resolution 803 by 410 to 4 to authorize the Judiciary Committee to consider impeachment proceedings against Nixon. The work of this committee was against the spotlight of a quarter of a century later when Bill Clinton was impeached. In 1974, House Judiciary Committee recommended articles of impeachment to full House of Representatives, but Nixon resigned before. Okay, so it made it all the way to recommending it back for a vote from the Judiciary Committee, but they never voted on it. Hence, Nixon was not impeached during the Watergate scandal. The only presidents ever to be impeached are Andrew Johnson, Bill Clinton, and Donald Trump.
To run and be prepared to be hated by the people, by the media, and do all of the right things. Yet they try to persecute him, but cannot find anything which proves how clean he is. And you're in complete service to humanity, and he has not been assassinated. He's still alive. He's still in great shape, and he's mentally very in good shape mentally. You know that God is protecting him. This is a miracle. How his success in draining the swamp. This is an absolute miracle. And just from there, that gives me goosebumps because this is really biblical. Now, Derek, you mentioned that we're just months away, or to be precise, I know you didn't want to say this on air, but you mentioned we're 2 months away from the arrests, from tribunals, if you like. Sorry.
Here we go. Is this it? Is this what we're looking for?
But why personally do you feel that we're that close?
Oh, well, because, the New York Times, they've got a reputation now. I know that they have been talked about bad lately. Elon Musk took their blue check away from them on Twitter and all that good stuff. But the New York Times has been around a lot longer than I have. And they put out an article December the 29th, 2021, which would have been a year and a half before what they said. They said in mid-2023, joint, so double trials will be going at the same time. And they said mid-2023. So when I came onto the scene in late August, and then the whole world found out who I am, I've been saying it since then. Now, I had this in my documents since way back in 2020, 2021. Everything that I've been talking about. And then when that article came out, I was like, oh, golden nugget. Here it is. Personally, I've been, like I told you on the air, I'll tell everybody. I mean, I do have a personal invitation through an actual radio station that's FEMA regulated and also FCC regulated. And there's a lot of things that are, had to be in place. She's also, this station is a EAS station that they pay their dues. It's funny that they...
Almost all radio stations are regulated under those exact things for the emergency alert system.
They actually make radio stations pay dues to be an emergency alert broadcast station. But I do have an invite to go down to Guantanamo Bay in June and July. It's a DOD itinerary. It comes straight from the Department of Defense. It's laced with all the information you need to know. If you want internet while you're there, here's what it'll cost. If you want to stay, if you don't want to stay in a barrack, because it is a military base, if you don't want to stay in like a barrack or a tent, then here's your hotel cost. So, I do have that. It's a matter of me making my schedule and all that good stuff work. But obviously, I'm going to move the world to get there. But it's all I do have is it is a mix with all the information to go down to Guantanamo Bay in June and to be an emergency EAS station they pay their dues. It's funny that they actually make radio stations pay dues to be an emergency alert broadcast station. But I do have an invite to go down to Guantanamo Bay in June and July. It's a DOD itinerary. It comes straight from the Department of Defense. It's laced with all the information you need to know. If you want internet while you're there, here's what it'll cost. If you want to stay, if you don't want to stay in a barrack, because it is a military base, if you don't want to stay in like a barrack or a tent, then here's your hotel cost. So, I do have that. It's a matter of me making my schedule and all that good stuff work. But obviously, I'm going to move the world to get there. But it's all in writing. It's all there. The other thing to keep in mind is this is, all throughout 2018, 2019, 2020, here's the executive order that.
So he's got a military itinerary. He's got an invitation. He's got this. He's got that. He's got whatever. Are we sure he's just not taking a tour? Are we sure he's just not taking a tour? That's what he claims. We'll back it up and let's do it again.
I do have an invite, things that are, had to be in place. She's also, this station is a EAS station. They pay their dues.
I'm not even sure they have to pay dues to be an emergency alert. I know they have to meet certain requirements. I know they have to be up to date. I know they have to keep their stuff up to date. It is voluntary for all broadcasters and video participation. Okay, here, let's see this. National priorities, integrated organization, state definitions, other definitions, primary, mandated, tests, required monthly tests, time duration, guidance. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna search for a word. Control. Participation in state and or local EAS is voluntary for all broadcasters and video operators. However, any station's video operators electing to participate in the state and or local EAS must then follow the procedures found in this plan. No, even though they elect not to carry national EAS alert, stations designated NN, non-participating national, may participate in the state. Okay, so in state EASs, you can participate or not. And there's no fee listed here. National EAS. All broadcasters and video operators are required to participate in the national level EAS. All broadcasters and video operators are required to participate in the national level EAS. PN, participating nations, stations, and all cable operators would carry the presidential message. NN, non-participating national stations would make an announcement and sign off. So if you don't participate in it, if you're a non-participating in the alert, then you still have to make an announcement and sign off. You still have to make an announcement and sign off. In addition, all broadcasters and video operators must transmit a required weekly EAS test, RWT, once a month, must retransmit the required monthly test, RMT, within 15 minutes of receiving it on their EAS decoder. These actions are required of all broadcasters and video operators, regardless of their PN or NN EAS status. Learning something new every day. Nation's public broadcast cable television system, digital audio. Yeah, I don't think. CFR, emergency alert system. Let's read this, I guess. It's from a .gov website. Changing rules and regulations for providing for emergency alert system. The EAS provides the president with capabilities, levels during international, blah, blah, blah. Broadcast systems, wireless systems, direct broadcast satellites, blah, blah, blah. Definitions, S11, EAS decoder, analog digital broadcast station equipment deployment. EAS decoder, so everybody needs that. EAS encoder, everybody needs that, but analog digital FM class D, analog and digital LPFM, and analog and digital LPTV. Audio message, everybody needs that. Video message only applies to DTV, analog digital class ATV, and analog and digital class LPTV. Required equipment. Each participant may comply with obligations set forth in 11.56 to decode and convert CAP formatted messages to EAS protocol compliant messages, intermediary devices specified, analog cables, blah, blah, blah. I don't think they have to pay. It seems really weird that you would have to pay dues and the government forces you to participate in some form and you have to pay dues. That just seems weird to me, but... yeah, I can't find dues, due, cost. I don't think that's true. I mean, somebody could correct me. I could be wrong, but I don't think that's true at all.
It's funny that they actually make
Miracle.
EAS station that can they pay.
All right, let's listen again.
They actually make radio stations pay dues to be an emergency alert broadcast station. But I do have an invite to go down to Guantanamo Bay in June and July. It's a DoD itinerary. It comes straight from the Department of Defense. It's laced with.
No, not everybody can get on any military base, and I'm sure it's worse, Melissa, when you're talking about somewhere like Gitmo, because the government's obviously hiding a lot of secrets there. Up until the point where they even made new courtrooms without places for journalists to sit or see.
All the information you need to know. If you want internet while you're there, here's what it'll cost. If you want to stay, if you don't want to stay in a barrack, because it is a military base. If you don't want to stay in like a barrack or a tent, then here's your hotel cost. So
the last thing I heard anything about that camp there was no hotel. There was no hotel to stay at. Everybody stayed on post. And they had like military housing and they had like visitor civilian housing, but that could have changed, I guess.
I do have that. It's a matter of me making my schedule and all that good stuff work. But obviously, I'm going to move the world to get there. But it's all in writing. It's all there. The other thing to keep in mind is all throughout 2018, 2019, 2020. Here's the executive order that proves this as well. My thing is this to people, and Lewis and I, we love, putting the question back on people is this. If Biden was president, he'd have the same powers as every other president. It wouldn't matter what I thought about him. If I didn't like the guy, if I hated the guy, if I loathed the guy, if I wouldn't vote for him for dog catcher.
We're not watching this one. We're watching the other one. I just wanted to hear his announcement.
Maybe too. I don't know, but yeah, they'll have to either be sponsored themselves as well. So it'll be the same process.
But he's allowed to take visitors for some reason.
So you got it.
And so there's all kind. They wouldn't put stuff on there if it couldn't be known. I mean, let's just say someone's email got hacked, right? And then that Word document's on there. I mean, so there's all kind. They wouldn't put stuff on there if it couldn't be known.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty exciting. So they give you all kinds of like you could stay in like a barracks type room, or you can have like a hotel room if you want to fund that or whatever. What did you choose? You got accommodations.
Come on, let's do the barrack. Let's just go ahead and enjoy it. It's almost like getting to be in the military again. So that's the way I look at it. It's like I'm gonna do the barrack.
Yeah, that's the same thing I thought, Moriarty, but I wasn't sure. I mean, it's been a long time since I knew anybody that was down there.
Just for fun of it.
Nice. You can always switch over.
I'm not gonna. Yeah, maybe. Of course, I'm getting sponsored with it. The only phone that works on there is T-Mobile. So they got that getting set up, and of course, I got to learn a little bit of equipment that I'm taking with me. That way I can record or report from it. Especially I'll be reporting for a station. So it's like a 2-in-1 job, but still, it'll be me down there, and I think I may get to take one other person. So maybe 2. I don't know, but yeah.
Reporting for a radio station in Gitmo is his claim. He met a woman that works at or owns a radio station. He's reporting for a radio station in Gitmo. Does he say when he's going? Let me back up again. Listen again.
You got accommodations.
So nothing that someone. I mean, let's just say someone's email got hacked, right? And then that Word document's on there. I mean, so there's all kind. They wouldn't put stuff on.
Here's what it says. Naval Station Guantanamo Bay is the forward-ready and irreplaceable U.S. sea power platform in the Caribbean. We host and enable all branches of the U.S. military, plus several interagency and international partner organizations. We also provide an exceptional quality of life for our residents, benefits for Naval Station Guantanamo Bay service members, civilians, employees, their families, and visitors include no-cost housing and utilities. Plus access to amenities, conveniences you will find in other military installations, including a commissary, Navy exchange, furniture store, gas station, hospital, dry cleaners, bowling alley, library, and sports complex. Those are all on base and ran by the base. There's nothing off post. We have college courses available and combined school for pre-K through 12th grade, as well as child development centers, because you got to think some soldiers have families stationed there. I would say it's not regular young soldiers, it's probably officers that are there or whatever. We have college courses, blah, 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 and child development centers and a youth center. If accepting an accompanied tour, pets with some restrictions may accompany employees, and employees may ship most household goods and personnel and personal vehicle to NSGB at no cost themselves. Be aware that parts are very limited and auto mechanics are very limited for your vehicle if something breaks. Other benefits include family housing comes with major appliances, access to on-base Department of Defense school and activity centers for teens and youth, employment opportunities for company family members, very short commutes from housing to work sites, and free public transportation, cell phone, T-Mobile only, and internet service with speeds comparable to continental U.S. locations, one funded environmental and morale trip every 2 years based on eligibility. Damn. And 2 unfunded space available trips per year based on eligibility. Weekly flights to the U.S. and Jamaica, both Space A, military flights and charter flights. Free or inexpensive recreation like scuba diving, snorkeling, fishing, bowling, boating, and beach activities. Free 22-hour fitness center. Free nightly movie showings, first-run movies included. Living and working in NSGB is not, however, for everyone. There is no access to the rest of Cuba, and transitioning on and off base via air only may be difficult at certain times, and getting a seat on participating flight is not always guaranteed. The weather is hot or warm all year long with little change in seasons. While there is an on-base hospital, those with medical conditions requiring frequent visits or treatments may not find their particular services available. Mail and package delivery also takes longer than the continental United States locations, expect up to 3 weeks on average. Security considerations can impact photography and other hobbies, and owing to the location and challenges of delivery, grocery, dining, and shopping activities are fewer than those found in larger and less isolated places. Life at Naval Station Guantanamo Bay offers adventure, challenge, and opportunity unequaled in any other locale. So that is literally from military installation from militaryonesource.mil about people that are going to be stationed there or bringing their families there.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's going to be pretty exciting. So they give you all kinds of like you could stay in like a barracks type room, or you can have like a hotel room if you want to fund that or whatever. What did you choose? You got accommodations.
Come on, let's do the Barrett. You know, let's just go ahead and enjoy it. It's almost like getting to be in the military again. So that's the way I look at it. It's like I'm gonna do the Barrett thing.
He's claiming that it's like a second job. So I'm assuming what he's saying is that he's going to live stream from down there as well as work for this radio station.
Yeah, maybe. Of course, I'm getting sponsored with it. The only phone that works on there is T-Mobile. So they got that getting set up. And of course, I got to learn a little bit of equipment that I'm taking with me, that way I can record or, report from it. Especially I'll be reporting for a station. So, it's like a 2-in-1 job, but still, it'll be me down there. And I think I may get to take one other person. So maybe 2, I don't know, but they'll have to either be sponsored themselves as well. So it'll be the same process. But luckily I'm getting sponsored by a few people. I don't know how long I'll be there, but probably 2 or 3 weeks, maybe longer. We don't know yet, but there's so many different things you got to prepare for it, like internet separate as well. So you got to.
So now we know he's not just confused. He's not just convinced himself. He's actually fucking lying.
Prepare for that a month out. How much?
We should have known when he claimed you should have known, everybody, his followers, I guess, when I say we, his followers should have known this when he claimed he was tortured by Obama soldiers.
Internet do you need? How much do you want? So just kind of ballpark that. So
yeah. So you're scheduled to be down there in June and July?
I think I'm going down in July. But if we get to go down sooner, but it's a month out. Everything is a month rushing out, so you have to book it a month out when you go on. So I think we're going to aim for July. I don't know. It's like I got to get my passport. I feel like it'll be in May based off what they were saying. And so if I can go in June, I will. Like I told the station, I'll go. However long you want me to be there, I'll go.
He doesn't even have his fucking passport.
I have nothing else pressing. No offense to anybody. I said no offense to anybody on the podcast world, all my buddies, different people. No offense, but it's kind of like we've kind of pressed everything aside to fit in. So if they want me longer, I'll go. So it just depends. But right now, I think we're aiming for July.
Okay, cool. So the company you're with is like you were talking about. They have the emergency broadcast channel capability as well. So you think anything like that's coming up anytime soon? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's been I was saying on the pre-show. President Trump, he dropped like 14 videos the other day. Of course, it was from one speech, but he had them chopped up. And just the comms he's been dropping are pretty heavy and pretty telling in different ways. And then obviously today, it's no secret what happened today with Tucker Carlson. So, like a lot of people maybe haven't been paying attention. I don't know. It's like we still see so many that have no clue what's going on. But CNN's already moved. They've already, they're kind of like faded out in a different way. Of course, they're all syndicated TV. This is what people got to learn. They're syndicated TV, and then they get like an hour segment. Right. And they have to. And then if you and I were a guest on there, they're going to, someone's going to tell, hey, you can't say this, you can't say this, you can't touch, you can't do this. So it's only so much you can say in an hour. And it's surface level talk. And it's been this way for years. It's not like it's just been in the last 5, 10, 15 years. And it was all planned this way.
I can't believe this is fucking claim. I guarantee you Phil's going to say that he got married in the Caribbean because he had to go buy Gitmo and check on something.
He's been saying based from November the 15th, 2022 was probably, I think, his most strongest speech in the sense of what was before it. He had said a few things, but then November 15th, when he said about Mars, with the military auxiliary radio system, we're going to put up, pretty soon we'll put up a beautiful flag on the surface of Mars. And then right after it, he said, we're going to decimate street crime by 75 or 85%. And then you move forward to, of course, he had a few of the speeches in December that were related to all this document type stuff. And these.
Yeah, you can activate the donations through, or you can activate the animations through donations with bits, or you can use coldbeer.fund, the Buy Me a Coffee link, or the one I like is Dono Clip. You can record an audio or video message. It doesn't charge you if we don't play it. So if something violates TOS and they don't play it, it doesn't charge you. It doesn't charge you till I play it on the stream.
But then CPAC and Waco, he was heavy again on his central casting comments, which he said a few of those along the way throughout 2018, 2019, but he was real heavy with those early on. Now he's heavy with those again. So it's almost like a bookend. Like I'm showing people. So he was heavy here. Now he's getting heavy again here. And then also in CPAC, you had the former Brazilian president there. And I mean, there's a Brazilian aircraft in the sky in Central Florida today flying. It's not on radar now, but it was earlier. And it's been there. It's been flying all over the coast of Florida on the East Coast for months now. And so there's that. So in CPAC, he also mentioned we're going to tear down some bad and ugly buildings. And we the people are going to be a participant in that, build these cities back up.
So apparently a couple of things that were going on today was a lot of other countries were telling their citizens that the threat was too high. They should not be traveling to the United States in the next few weeks, which is pretty crazy. Also, the shit that's happening in Sudan, U.S. said it was too hot to get our people out, but almost every other country pulled their people out. I don't know what's going on. It seems like something's bulling over here. I don't know if it's with China or North Korea or Russia or what. I don't know. But there were other countries telling their citizens not to travel to the U.S.
Anonymous just resubscribed for 3 months.
Thank you, CJ Anonymous. Appreciate it.
Renamed the streets, renamed the cities. And then at Waco, he said, he mentioned that, same thing. He emphasized that again. But then he went a little step further. He started hinting around about retribution fund. And there's going to be a retribution fund. We will be vindicated. And then these last few videos, he's been talking about, a lot of stuff. They're bringing up, once again, tearing down the buildings. We're going to obliterate the deep state. 2024 is our final battle, which is biblical kind of talk. Mm-hmm. And we know what's been happening with China, Brazil, and Iran, and Israel. There's a lot of, and I said this morning on Charlie's show, but I'm like, I might get beat up for it, but I'm already stepped over that hurdle, so I'm not worried about that. But I'm like, a lot of Christian preachers have been, especially in the deep South, that were my stomping grounds, right? A lot of deep South, they're just fear, fear related in the sense of like, oh, Iran and Russia and they're supposed to all align and and the rapture's going to snap us out of here. The word rapture just means a new beginning. And then the 1,000-year reign that the Bible talks about is what we really looks like we're seeing, because so many of these countries, they're not. I tell people, if our military wanted to take over this country, I'm like, we could do that. We and our capabilities and us former soldiers, especially you and what you did, we could do that in a half a day. I'm like, I said that would be like cowboys just roping. It's just like in your. It don't look.
I don't think rapture means a new beginning. It can be used to as like. Say you watch the new TV show with rapture, so that's like a intense joy or strong pleasure. It's also used for like the belief of people being taken off the earth for being followers of Jesus Christ. I don't think it translates to a new beginning.
That way, I'm like, I've been watching these aircraft for so long, President Trump's speeches, all these peace deals being made. It don't look like that at all. When you look at, when they open their eyes and see the flip side, it's actually the polar opposite. It looks more like where everybody comes to God in their own way, in their own culture, Because I try to tell people, God has to fit everybody. God has to fit all sleeves and all pants and all shoes, because most of these people have never, the average American's only been to 2 states, so I'm like, I've lived in 9. That's just 9 alone that I've lived in. Mm-hmm. And so I've been trying to explain that to people, so that all these different peace deals and all these different U.S. dollar deals, they're ditching the U.S. dollar, which is showing the gold-backed digital currency, the state of Texas. So President Trump's been hinting around a lot about the retribution fund.
These people are actively destroying the United States. It's just wild. They're destroying banks by running on them. They're destroying the dollar by spreading all this misinformation about like it's going to be fucking worthless. And they're all getting wealthy. They're all getting fucking wealthy while their followers are getting poorer, and they're going to leave them in that condition. These people are not going to get their money back.
He got even heavier. He told General Flynn, be ready and stay healthy. Mm-hmm. Then he also was sitting, I don't know if that was a UFC guy he was sitting with, but it was a one-on-one. And he was like, well, 2016 was the biggest election we've had in history, but I think 2024 can be bigger. So he baited the guy, and it's probably all planned anyways, I think. But the guy said, well, I think 2024 is going to be a lot bigger. And President Trump goes, well, you're probably right, because it won't be traditional. And then he quickly just diverted away. But traditional, and I try to tell people, there's two powers in this nation, federal government and military. When the federal government's on a continuity government, which they clearly are, military occupancy, which is in a law of war.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, traditional. That word traditional
makes sense.
Because whenever the government's under a cog and the military's in control of military occupancy, they take over the elections. I'm like, but they took them over way back here. That's why he mentioned 2016.
That's right, legend.
And then the executive order 13848 was a trap for all those elections, for the attorney generals, the secretary of states, and governors, and then the judges and lawyers. I'm like, all that. Now he's put more heavy emphasis on the bookend over here with his talks, like words with traditional. That's.
I used to get mad when they would label like, right-wing supporters as being, possible terrorists, but now I've seen many of them. They are
actually painting to that occupancy. And then the other thing he said, I was watching a video.
I know not all of them are. Like I'm right-wing, but there are so fucking many of them.
I'm trying to catch up. He dropped like 14 of them all in one day, and I'm trying to catch up with him. But he was saying, let's just assume that Biden is at the, when he's campaigning. Let's just assume that. That's how he said it. Let's just go assume. The crowd's booing, but he's like, let's just assume. Well, they assume where we all know what that means. So this is all, when I'm watching it, you're watching, it's like, we know what that means. It's been a trap this whole time. It's been a plan this whole time. Few in the crowd still booing. They're sitting there thinking, oh yeah, he's too old. All those things. It's like, has nothing to do with that. But he's really just putting a lot of emphasis on the bookend. And I just think that looking at the aircraft flying around, I dropped like 8 photos yesterday. It was like Panama, the UK. I can't remember who all was here. All in just 1 hour in the same sky. Hungary. I can't remember all of them now. There's so many just in 1 hour. And I'm like, they're not just training, ladies and gentlemen. But when people say that, they're just training, I'm like, we always train in the military. I don't know what people think we do. I used to.
Yeah, that's how they train. They train in groups. Sometimes you'll break it down to like single aircraft training, and sometimes you'll have a whole goddamn battalion out training.
I hate that the most. It's like we finally maybe get a break, and they're like, hey, go practice unloading and downloading the Stinger missile from the Humvee. It's like the Avenger, and I'm like, man, like we know how to do that like the back of our eyelids. So I just see probably, I don't know. I don't want to be. I'm never a dater. But he can't, with the state of Texas putting in that they're going to go back digital currency in September the 1st. You and I know when you cross that birthday, I had that famous 40th birthday this year. When you cross that year, it seems like everything really does start sliding faster. So from April to September is not a long time at all. So I just think that EAS has to be somewhere between Gitmo, those, and I don't know what they're going to look like because I don't know when they're going to start airing those to people. But with him saying we're going to obliterate the deep state, tearing down these bad buildings and ugly buildings, and then the other thing he just said the other day, here's the one last thing, we're going to take the homeless off the streets. He said, we're going to go in all the cities and take homeless, rehabilitate them, give them mental therapy, the ones that need it. And then he also flipped it. He used that first.
He also said we were going to build a big, beautiful wall and Mexico was going to pay for it. So, we can't just bank on what the fuck he says. We can't.
Which is prevalent.
Sorry.
But he also said it's not fair to law-abiding citizens to walk down these streets with the filth either. So it's a catch. But he's not being insensitive, saying, oh, these people don't want to get a job, nothing like that. Not doing that. He said, we're going to take them off the streets, take them to these tent cities, and we're going to rehabilitate them. That's going to be the military. As you know, it's going to be medics and also other nurses.
Does that sound good? It's like, it almost makes it sound like they're putting them in a concentration camp. Does that sound good? Is somebody keeping track of these people? Is someone making sure that they have fucking medical and food and attention and is somebody keeping track of these people? Or are we just taking them and putting them in camps and then some of them come back and some of them don't? And okay.
Humanitarian efforts that want to go out there and do this. So I just think that with him getting closer with that and then seeing all these helicopters flying around the Chinooks, there's a bunch of Chinooks in there. There's a bunch of Lakotas. There's a bunch of Black Hawks, all other state jurisdictions, all National Guard, and they're running with the call signs the letter E with a number, R with a number, and G with a number. And then the continuity directives, ERG is a strong acronym, the Emergency Relocation Groups.
That's why they use that as their call sign. Fucking retard. Their call sign could have been ERG 1, ERG 2.
You're seeing a lot more.
Nope, they had to break it up.
Every single day, all day. And the other thing that's been happening, past 10 p.m., even Eastern time, there's been a lot more aircraft in the sky than there has been in the last 2 or 3 years. So a lot more in the wee hours in the morning. There's a lot of P-8 Poseidons in the sky. Also Norway over here, P-8s. There's a P-8 Australian aircraft and a UK aircraft over here. Those are all maritime. They all go back to those executive orders from Trump. So there's a lot more of that amping up. So I don't, I don't know. And
yeah, the P8s are really good. I've been on those before. We used to use those for directing when I was SEAL Team 6 and stuff like that. So there's probably a lot of.
Did you do that too?
Yeah.
Could you address that too, the P8 a little bit, just because of your history? Because I get that a lot, and I'm like,
yeah. So the P8 communication platform, they can do all kind of crazy. At sea, they can drop a sonar buoy and monitor what's going on under the water, all kind of crazy stuff. But the way we use them is when we used to use them to direct boats. So they could direct our boats to certain positions. So big time maritime special forces type stuff, but also on land. They can be utilized from the water to land or anywhere really. They can be completely land, but often for special forces use, they're excellent platforms for communication, directing, and lots of other stuff. So yeah, they're fabulous. When I see those guys up, I'm thinking that. So I see you're thinking the same thing. I like to watch your analysis of the aircraft because you're spot on, I think, for a lot of your stuff.
Well, thank you for addressing that too, because it's good to hear from someone else other than.
This is crazy, dude. This is fucking crazy.
If I just screenshot all day, I mean, my phone would never say charged. But there's so many. I just gotta just give people a taste. But I'm like,
dude's just making shit up. He misinterprets everything he fucking touches, and then when it comes out, here we are. now he's going to Gitmo to stay at the hotel that doesn't exist. No, I'm gonna stay in the barracks
all day, all night, wee hours in the morning.
Well, this guy in his dress uniform forgot his PT cap. You don't wear a PT cap with his dress uniform, and it blew off its head. It's laying beside him. Biden got a funeral. The whole thing's a joke.
I've been involved in this type of stuff, and you can see the little things like you're pointing out. You don't have to actually
tortured by Obama soldiers. This is how he got out of the military. Tortured by Obama soldiers.
Down houses and pulling people out or buildings, whatever. But I know that's going on because I see the little signs like you do. It's good.
Yeah, definitely so. I mean, sometimes I wish it was more visual for people, but then again, I still don't think people could. There's some things that they just, it's gonna be hard enough to see when they do see it.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be like, hey, here we come. We're coming to get you.
Yeah,
bad boys. What you gonna do?
Exactly.
But they can't do anything. But they could run and hide, and we don't want that. We want to get them. When we go in and they're like, oh, mouth open, and it's okay. Let's go, Guantanamo. You go, and Derek's gonna watch you and record you, and
exactly. Yeah.
I've talked to people who were on SEAL teams with Jaco, and some of them worked with him at like Buds and shit when he did training. Apparently I mean, they're a small community. They try to take care of themselves and each other. And apparently people have been keeping eyes on him for years. But whenever he went into like this hippy dippy spiritualism, past lives, super soldier, which is where he started at first. But they've never made any type of move to have him like fucking committed or some shit. But he is crazy. He tells one story about he was running on a trail, and then he had to start climbing a cliff because this helicopter with a heart attack gun was chasing him, and he was shot several times, so he fell off the cliff. Then some hikers found him, and the helicopter just went away. But some hikers found him, and then he had to run back like 37 miles to his car. It was just the craziest story I've ever heard.
How did you know we were there? That's the question we want to hear him say.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I've been trying to show people. I'm like, there was an aircraft the other day that left. It was a UH-60, flew from Michigan to El Paso. And I'm like, look, even in a helicopter, come on. It was only at like 500 to 1,000 feet. And I'm like, come on, people, you got to think about that. I mean, that's just not a normal. That's not oh, hey, boys, we're going to make a run down El Paso. It's like, wait, we're leaving from Detroit and we're going on this? Okay, yeah, come on. And then all the KC-10s, you got all the 135s. You got, so many refuelers in the sky. And they're circling. And they're making so much circles that it colors in like thick on the screen. I mean, there's so much stuff happening that I'm like, of course, Captain Kyle, a few others tried to report it too. It's like, come on, ladies and gentlemen, at some point you got to listen to someone that understands that these guys are not just circling every single day, all night, in the locations where they are. The other one I brought up this morning.
We always have air support. Not only do we have training, not only do we have qualification, not only do we have soldiers who have to get hours and an air crew that have to have certain hours and have to have certain training every year, or sometimes even more often, sometimes less often. But we always have air support overhead. What does he think we do? We just fucking never have planes in the sky and just scramble planes if there's some type of threat? We always have air support in the air.
One was very interesting because I've been showing people, and a lot of my followers are starting to catch on a lot more with the aircraft.
What's up, Chuck?
To get that military understanding down, but I'm like,
Derek Johnson is going to Gitmo to represent a local radio station and report on the tribunals. That's the newest thing we're talking about.
That's what the press showed you. I said, I tell you, they're under code too, because this is a war powers game of the president. And so they told you that there's still a mystery behind the Nord Stream 2, blow up. And I was like, they told you though back then too. They thought it was a P-8 side, and they wasn't sure from the U.S. That could have been flying over it. And I've had multiple pictures in the last week of P-8s flying right over the Nord Stream. And
that's not it, guys. We even saw Monkey Works try to do this. Monkey Works. We went back and figured the hours up. The aircraft that was on station at the Nord Stream pipeline explosion got there 3 hours after the explosion was reported. 3 hours. If we have assets in Europe and we hear there's an explosion on a major fucking pipeline from a country that we already have issues with feeding into one of our ally companies, don't you think we're going to send somebody to fly over the motherfucker and look? Don't you think we're going to send somebody over there to look? And then Monkey Works is like, look, you can tell they dropped down like 10 feet here, and then they got like 10 feet lighter, so that means they dropped a payload. What? They weren't even over the area. They're flying in the opposite direction, and you're telling me they launched something 3 hours after the explosion was reported?
But they're not reporting those now. So it was like a balloon topic. You know, and I'm still that guy going screenshotting balloons. I'm like, same call signs. The same call sign as a Chinese balloon is the same call sign. And here they are, commercial, way above commercial. Arizona last like 2 weeks ago, and New Mexico. And I'm like, when are these going to make the news? So it's really waking up a lot of people that way to go, you're watching delays, you know, and trying to teach them that. And they're learning that. A lot of them are.
Of course we would scramble stuff to see what it was. It could have put us into World War III had there been like some way they could have fucking pinned it on us and the whole world blamed us for it rather than just Russia. Of course we're going to go look at it. Of course we're going to see what we damage assessment. We're not going to trust Russia's word because they probably blew it up them fucking selves.
But it's just slow. You know, like Lewis talks about the frog in the pot. You know, that frog jumped in that pot of water because it knew the water, but it didn't.
Lewis did not invent. The last time he talked about this, he's like, Lewis come up with this saying about, you know, if you put a frog in a pot of water and then slowly raise the temperature. Oh, you mean the saying that's been around for 100 fucking years? Lewis Herms from Screw Big Government made that up and gave that to you? Okay, good. I was wondering who to give credit to.
Didn't realize it had a boiler under it, and didn't realize someone had control of that boiler. And next thing you know, the frog's boiling. And, you know, now the good guys have that pot.
I can't believe he's never heard that saying. So weirdest fuck it. Uh-oh, here we go. Trivia, guys.
Out of the way. Said, man, you don't know how to cook. Let me have this. And then turn it down.
Hey, what's up, Jason?
And that frog's going, thank you.
You're all good. Have a good night. What is on display in the Madame Tussauds Museum in London? I'm probably saying all that wrong. Madame Tussauds is a D silent museum in London. Unreleased film reels. Vintage cars, designer clothing, or wax sculptures. Let's start the trivia music. Tussauds. I know what it is, but I've never heard anybody say it, I don't think. It doesn't matter. Don't put it in chat. Just vote in the poll. So it counts. Tussauds. Madame Tussauds. Bow, 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 bow. Down. Bow. You guys are arguing against each other and still putting the answer in the chat. About 30 more seconds. See what you guys got. I know what the answer is, but do you? That's the question. It's also running an ad, so nobody misses any of the show right now. A 2-minute ad. That's why we're doing the trivia. So far, the voting is leaning heavily one way. Heavily one way. Four, 3, 2, one. Let's see. Chat was right. It is indeed wax sculptures. Good job, guys. Good job. Congratulations, chat. You're a little bit smarter today. I can't believe you missed the Declaration of Independence one.
Yeah, so
we're seeing more of that. People are catching on faster. Like the J6, it took them a long time to catch on to that, but there was a lot of reveals that have happened since then. More recently, the videos that came out, the stuff that we have been putting out. You have done an excellent job of really breaking that down and pointing some stuff out.
You're also talking to Jaco, the guy who told you that in his time during the Navy SEALs, that he got so close to the dolphins that they used to let him pet their gills. Dolphin gills. Dolphins who do not have gills. Sounds like a good guy to me.
Another thing Trump said is we may not be able to wait for 2024 because this nuclear thing.
Yeah, Jaco's kind of a shitbag.
Is really heating up. So that might be,
we caught him in a shit ton of lies. But
there's going to be the commander in chief's going to step in a little bit earlier because it's getting a little hot, So and that has
to to pair with that, once again, like I tell people now, Charlie and I did this morning. Charlie said it too. He said, "Look, we're just Derek and Charlie. We show you what we show you. We don't all have to agree on everything because he has a little different take. I have one, you have one. That's fine. That's what we're supposed to do. I mean, my goodness, like if we all knew, well, we probably should be arresting people. If we all knew everything, Now my grandfather had that old slogan. He said, "Son, we're."
But you do have to thank him for the death of Osama bin Laden. He actually came out and told us on a couple different interviews that he feels personally responsible for the death of Osama bin Laden and that he wasn't on the team or anything, but he loved him to death. He used his love as a spiritual weapon when he would focus on it, and he loved Osama bin Laden to death.
99.9% wrong with women all the time. How wrong do you think we're going to be with God? So it's like, so you pair that with life, and it's like, we're all going to be wrong about something, right? And but when you think about, you go back, I'm like, it's just laws and orders. And when President Trump says, if they're going to investigate me, they got to investigate every president before me immediately. Not like, don't wait around. And who's they? I mean, obviously we're talking about it's still a plan. We know that, but still, for the people who don't know that, he's saying, look, I'm using 95% of laws and orders that I didn't write or pass. All past Congresses and all past presidents did. But he's a wartime president. When he federalized the National Guard, that's a
Biden's never been president, but Biden's also fucking everything up. Got it.
He put it in a federal order just for the sake.
That's a direct order. I don't understand other than movies, I don't understand the direct order thing.
That executive order, whatever, the 2-year executive order. When you read it, it says no more than 24 consecutive months. And that one word there is very key, consecutive, because it means it's to be assessed.
It also says no more than 1 million, and you claim that it was 1 million. You claim that it was 1 million. It also says no more than 1 million, but you skipped over that part. Also, they were activated for COVID. The people who went back up for the inauguration, I know a lot of those guys. When I got out of my military service, I had 2 years I did in with the local National Guard unit. I know a lot of those guys that went from Tennessee and Virginia and Kentucky, and you know what they were on? Their own governor's order, state activated duty.
Austin _
Oh God.
GLG20 cheered Dex 700.
It tells you laws and orders because we're a nation of law and order.
No.
Oh, all of a sudden. Oh, man, this guy. Look at this guy. Oh, and look
at this
it.
guy.
He's all upset today. Not upset.
Look at this guy.
Shoot, I sleep like a baby every night.
He sleeps like a baby. Look at this guy. He sleeps like a baby every night. For 700 bits, you get Derek Johnson on the screen sleeping like a... Look at this guy.
And to see do we need to extend it? So they did. And it was Biden as the cog who extended it. But what was very interesting, being a 2-year order, why would he need to extend it in 2021 when it wouldn't need to be addressed until absolute late?
Because that's what they do. When a president first takes office, he sits down and signs a bunch of executive orders. If he doesn't have a bunch of his own, or he wants to bump up the number, he even renews or does away with other presidents' executive orders, even if they're not about to expire.
March 2022 because it's put out March 2020, which means March 2022.
Continuance.
Well, he extended it March 2021. So that's an optic, right, for everybody to go, okay. Well, then
that's some optics.
2023, March 2023.
Optical optics.
On the March 2022.
Observation.
That puts it out to March 2024. They didn't extend it this past March. So that tells us somewhere between me and you talking in March 2020.
Oh shit, I forgot. I could run an ad on I can run an ad on you. I'm going to try to run an ad on YouTube. Tell me if you see an ad. Is there anybody watching on YouTube right now? Tell me if you see an ad. Boom. Boom. Just did it. Insert an ad on YouTube. I don't know how long it is. I don't have no idea. There you go. I stuck one in there. Let's see what happens. Everybody will leave, probably. Everybody's like, fuck this. Ads? Are you shitting me? This guy's running ads in the middle of his show? What? Are you back already, Miss Priss? Or are you just enjoying the ads? 2 ads came up. Yes, ads. You're damn right. Now you're about to get trivia ads, YouTube. That's how we play trivia around here. I read the question, then I send you to an ad. That's how Daddy makes the big paydays. That's how Daddy makes the big paydays. Other streamers who can't cut it, they just partner up and try creating new shows. I'm out here running ads.
With our military, because why did they activate them in the first place? If it was over COVID, even though I've seen the cards and I've read the cards, and the cards from 2017 and 2018 clearly define the pandemic as a strategy by the good guys. And I know a lot of people are going to have a hard time with that one, but when they go read them, it talks about the pandemic in great detail back then about what do you do when people don't report to work.
Oh, fuck. You're an asshole. Got it? Understood? Thank you very much for the 1,000 bits. That is the asshole gimmick there. Thank you very much for the donation and the support. I guess I send all that fucking ad revenue over to Dennis Leary.
That happens when I mean, it'll take your breath away when you go read them. It's like, holy crap, they planned this. This was a plan where the military could work more effectively and efficiently. Because they got 99% of people stay at home during that time period. So it was like, they were like, I'm sitting there going like, hey, we got that many people.
He's wearing a Mexican blanket as a coat.
To sit at home, just off of one word and flipping the flu numbers. So, what people get sensitive about.
That's right, Tracy.
Once again, the president had
call this guy an asshole.
Influence of vaccines. It was the FDA, the CDC, and the NIH that went against them. So when they did their own thing, so a lot of people get sensitive over that. But when you remove that sensitivity and go just to the facts, and you go look at those continuity directives, it specifically shows you that the pandemic was used for a good thing. So, I'm sensitive. But when
pandemic was used for a good thing, Donald Trump's responsible for the pandemic, so he could use it for a good thing.
When people go read those, they'll see that this was a giant plan, and then that March 2020 was just using laws and orders because we still
kind of looks like a saddle blanket, don't it?
Laws and orders because we didn't need a revolt. We didn't need someone over here, going, they did a dictatorship type, or they took it over, or they did a coup d'etat, we didn't need that. So that's why everything had to be done by law and order. But being a wartime president, those laws still show that. So in March 2024, they're not going to let Biden look like he had 4 years. That's my belief. That's how I feel about it. And why would they activate 1 million national? Why would they need it to be extended? We already know COVID. It's not even a topic anymore. The government, quote unquote, ended that. I think it was last week. They put out a statement. I don't even think anybody even saw that. That the pandemic's over. The DOD had already put out. That's why that was the only thing that was a hang up when I first was talking about Gitmo, because the first DOD itinerary guy still said you had to have the jab to go to Gitmo. So I didn't want to make any kind of comments out there where it could backfire.
So here's a thing. I just thought about this. Maybe they revoked those. I can't remember. I remember there was a big fuss back in a few years ago that reporters that were actually going to Gitmo, there was a big fuss because they were required to basically let the U.S. government eavesdrop on all their phone calls. And they were raising hell saying it violates their constitutional rights. So they were allowed to listen in on all their phone calls, communications, live streams, whatever. How funny, I think they may have rescinded that. How funny would it be if he is going down there for some reason and this motherfucker signs that agreement and then starts live streaming this crazy shit and they come and shut him down?
He didn't really get anybody, all the stuff. You don't want to deal with any kind of negative publicity if you can help it. But that's what, and so they contacted DOD and they were like, oh yeah, no. Yeah, they put that out like about 5 months ago.
They might have rescinded that though. I can't remember.
It's not required anymore, but it's just, you should get it. Right. So they'd already done all these things. And so COVID's not even a word anymore. It's not even talking to people. And so why would the troops, why wouldn't they terminate that immediately? Because as you and I know, the one thing that, I know it probably does you, but it does me. But the one that gets me the most, we just lost those soldiers, the National Guard from the Tennessee National Guard in Alabama.
I'm also sure, I'm almost positive that it used to be you could only apply for like a 4-day pass or 5-day pass. He said he's going to be down there for a month.
About a month and a half ago, they got the aircraft that went down. They're in that wartime situation. If we're not in some kind of, if this was all about COVID, and I don't know.
Mona, you're like 30 minutes behind the stream.
And that's where it's like, okay, that's where I try to tell people, look, there's people still losing their lives every single day. Someone got that famous, I don't like the word famous, but they got that famous knock on the door and those hats under their arms.
Oh, yeah. I shouldn't have said live. I'm sure he can't go live from Gitmo. I meant like, I said live because that's what I always do, but I meant like videos from there. Like upload a video or upload something to even if you had to put it like in a Dropbox or whatever, and then say, like a reporter would do. But I'm assuming they won't let pictures or video be taken, so it would just be his words. So maybe he's going to do an audio recording and upload it. I don't know.
Anybody's ever experienced that? My great aunt was a Gold Star mom. Yeah, anybody's ever experienced that? That's why this is not.
They said they're getting him T-Mobile. That was one thing. He obviously read that T-Mobile's the only place that works there, and that they're helping him set up. The military's helping him set up some T-Mobile.
That's why it is a serious topic. And that's why when people say, "Oh, well, they didn't forget about that order." No, they did not. That order is out the March 24th of their arms and every single day. Yep. Then those men lost their lives 4 times. Just lost those soldiers, the National Guard from the Tennessee National Guard. And so that DOD, it's not required anymore, but it's just you should get it, right? So they'd already done all these things. And so COVID's not even a word anymore. It's not even talking to people. And so why would the troops, why wouldn't they terminate that immediately? Because as you and I know, the one thing that, I know it probably does you, but it does me. But the one that gets me the most, we just lost those soldiers, the National Guard from the Tennessee National Guard in Alabama about a month and a half ago. They got the aircraft that went down. They're in that wartime situation. If we're not in some kind of, if this was all about COVID, and I don't know what I know based on continuity of governments, then those men lost their lives for what? And that's where it's like, okay, that's where I try to tell people, look, there's people still losing their lives every single day. Someone got.
Yeah, that's horrible. It was a helicopter class. If you don't know, the Tennessee National Guard falls under the command of the Army National Guard actually falls under the command of the Air National Guard. It's kind of a combined office. And a family friend of mine growing up was the adjutant general of the Air National Guard. Had an office in Nashville, like basically as high as you can get, like at a state level, without being the fucking governor. And he knew some of these soldiers. I talked to him when this all happened. He knew some of these soldiers. Turns out that I knew one of them. Not like super personally or nothing, but I had met them and talked to them and knew who they were when I found out the name. It's a horrible tragedy, but I don't see how this helps. I don't see how this helps promote your point. Like I don't know where this comes from for you, Derek.
That famous. I don't like the word famous, but they got that famous knock on the door and those hats under their arms. And anybody's ever experienced that. My great aunt was a Gold Star mom. Yeah, anybody's ever experienced that. That's why this is not.
Yeah, you were almost tortured to death by Obama soldiers. Remember?
That's why it is a serious topic, and that's why when people say, "Oh, well, they didn't forget about that order." No, they did not. That order is out in March 2024 for a reason, and it didn't get extended for a reason.
What do you think about Gavin Newsom just recently called out the National Guard to the streets of San Francisco, and the reasoning he says is to combat the fentanyl crisis? What do you think's going on with that?
Well, one is like, where did he come from all of a sudden? Because he disappeared for a while and no one knew where he went.
Yeah, he was on vacation. There was actually a press release that he was going to be on vacation. They announced the dates he was going to be on vacation. They just didn't announce where he was going for security reasons. But the person below him stepped up and they told us when he would be back, and that's when he came back.
And so, there's that. Yep. Maybe he's one of those faces I'll be seeing down there. Who knows? And I believe so too. And so he disappeared for a while. So that's the first thing I tell people is, where did he go? And how all of a sudden is he back here doing that? So we all know it's a continuity government. We all know that you're in a cog, all of Congress, all your governors, everybody are under a continuity government. And so it's just part of the plan all along. And of course, California, I've been there many times. We're stationed out there. Love California. Love all of California. But they got a problem they need cleaning out there. And they've been working on it. There's a B-52 in the sky this morning, making massive rotations right above Los Angeles. And in between San Francisco, making
a Cuban sandwich.
Not really anywhere near Edwards. It was all near Fresno and circling massive circles. And there's been a lot more aircraft in the sky out there, a lot of different kinds of aircraft, a lot of different full call signs. So, you know, they're a heavy clean out state. And I think that's all everybody's seeing is just, you know, the backwards, once again, the people who do know what we're talking about. It's the real commander in chief and the secretary of defense cleaning out that state and getting everything ready to roll for, you know, as we move forward. But
right. And those B-52, people are like, what are they doing? Dropping bombs? No, B-52 can be outfitted for many different things. You can put lots of workstations on a B-52 where people like look at screens and monitor things that are going down on the ground. They can look for looking radar, FLIR, all kinds of different things. Night vision. They can look deep. They can hear.
Oh my God, they've got night vision, FLIR, and radar. Imagine
things. They can lots of monitoring that is super high tech, beyond most people's comprehension. That's what can be put on a lot of these big aircraft like that. So the normal aircraft, I've been on a lot of those aircraft too, where there's like massive numbers of,
FLIR is just forward-looking infrared.
Officers at workstations that are looking at computer screens and so forth, and doing communication.
He went very in depth in what they've got. I'm sure he probably stretched the capabilities of a large aircraft. They've got night vision, FLIR, radar, and man, that's it. He's got them all covered. I accidentally skipped ahead like 50 minutes, but
in order to flip it back over.
Yeah,
I've
also
no one cares.
Like you mentioned, Texas is doing a gold-backed crypto tech currency. I've also seen a lot of states going with using gold and silver as a monetary system of trading and as a money instrument. So it looks like, you know, a lot of states, like you're talking about, you know, Idaho going, okay, we're going to do the firing squad here again. And that's a little bit of optic. I think that's like a flip of a switch. They all go, okay, now we got it. But
the reason states are potentially turning to firing squads is because even before COVID, but even worse during COVID, the drugs that they use for lethal injection were extremely scarce. There was even price gouging going on and states selling them back and forth for profit. It was crazy. They have a chemical compound that works great for lethal injection. It's supposed to be pain-free, blah, 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 all this stuff. And it's extremely scarce.
They have to, like, you know, seed that into the consciousness, like we're talking about. So the seeding of the consciousness and the movement behind the scenes to bring us to that one point where, you know, there's the hammer drops and it's time to really get things moving in the right direction. So that's amazing. All, you know, Q, I think it's been like a lot of things where in the beginning it was basically to help wake people up, but it was compromised. Like a lot of things have been compromised. So I'm like you, I don't quite listen to everything. I just watch everything and see what I believe is like correct narrative. So we're seeing a lot of the mainstream media basically being shut down. We saw who's that one guy at CNN? Lemon got dropped. Don Lemon got dropped today too.
Don Lemon.
Yeah. Same time as you know, Tucker Carlson's being dropped. So I don't know if it's a tit for tat, you know, taking pieces off the chessboard, or what I believe is basically a massive drawdown of the mainstream media overall. Susan Rice just got let go. She was a main behind the scenes player. So a lot of things are popping today, and it's just every day it's something else. What do you think will be the thing that really wakes people up? Will it be the reveal that the COVID shots were fake and they were basically utilized to, you know, kill a lot of people, or do you think there's going to be the military tribunals? What do you think is, or a combination of those? What do you think is a real reveal for people to really
exercise red flag?
I think it'll be a combination of those, because I think a lot of people will then remember, you know, people like me saying, hey, it's not what you think it is. Because it wasn't just me. I mean, I've talked to so many people all over the country. I've had people, even friends, other podcasters, call, trying, you know, saying, hey, is there anything, you know, think I could do to wake anybody up even more? I mean, people who truly care. Yeah. I think that's going to be it's going to be a combo of everything.
Is anybody I can convince even harder to send me donations? You know, I really care about my bank account in this country.
But still, it's like people are going to find out that there's some people who actually care without any kind of ego in mind or monetary value or whatever it could be. That, you know, that we still have to live. You know, it's like 12 says too. It's like, oh my goodness, we still have to live. I mean, it's not like that the world's going to flip and change when we don't have any kind of obligations or responsibilities. And also, you know, how you feed your family or feed yourself or whatever it is. But it's going to be a combination. But I mean, that's going to be a big one, because once again, so many people just by one person saying this, and it was really governors.
I think it bothers me more, one, because he's calling out soldiers and veterans and saying they're a disgrace to the country, they're a disgrace to their uniform, disgrace to the flag, because they don't believe that Trump's still president. He's saying that, you know, he joined the military for the right reasons, and anybody else that joins the military for college or money, or I meant soldiers that were basically going to be fucking homeless, or involved in like drugs and gangs and shit and had to get the fuck away. And they turned out to be great fucking soldiers. This motherfucker says he joined for the right reasons, even though it was really to pay for his college. That's one reason. But I think the other reason is I've never seen a better walking impersonation of a douchebag. Like, everything about him makes me hate everything about him. His the way he looks, the stupid fucking faces he makes, the way he's built, his claims of being tortured by Obama soldiers, his stupid fucking hat, this saddle blanket he's wearing as a coat. I hate everything about him.
People go back and remember President Trump gave governors. This was a trap that he gave governors power over their states, even though people think that already they have that. But he told them, because this was a world thing, right? And this is a world operation, but he specified that then. And that was very key for people to see that this state governors, right? And I remember the last state to do it, the last state to absolutely.
That's right, Chuck.
And that governor took all kinds of heat for not making it a mandate in these things. So when it gets down to the people level.
So apparently, according to his brother, he was feigning an injury. He wasn't even going to get out of boot camp. And his brother called in a favor and said, hey, look, he really wants to be in the Army, blah, blah, blah. Knew some of the drill instructors there, got him through boot camp. He was feigning an injury all the way up through. And as soon as he got to his duty station, he was feigning an injury out at NTC. And I'm sure he did hear shit like, you're a piece of shit. Like, you're a disgrace. Why are you fucking faking an injury trying to get out of the military? You signed a contract. You're a grown-ass man. You can't complete your obligations, blah, blah, blah. But then to say that he was fucking held and tortured because he knew his test scores and his goals were being accomplished to become a general.
These companies, for the sake of money, as the Bible says, even though if you're a Christian, the Bible, it doesn't say money's the root of all evil. It says the lust of money is the root of all evil. Because we need money. And people don't really understand. But when you really apply it, that will be a biggie, because that's people's health. And that's people's family members. That's people's moms, dads, children, whomever lost. And they're still losing them. And there's young people right now. I mean, there's people every day. I know that new Died Suddenly, I believe, movie is painting a picture. But there's so many different people, young people, 30s, 40s, just dropping perfectly healthy, normal time. And then, so it's like, and that's the thing that's the part where it's like, when they do get this revealed, that's where guys that have known have to kick in another gear and go, all right, now, like our soldiers treat, I'm professional. You're not going to be like, I told you so, and beat them down or beat them up.
Like as a soldier, he's a professional.
Then you kick in the gear.
Professional.
Put your pride aside, help them up, and the ones that are willing to drive forward and understand that, I ain't beating you up. I know I told you. We're going to get through this. And that's what's going to happen. It's just going to be a massive, just like the tent cities and things. It's going to be a humanitarian effort on all angles that, hey, we all live through this. We're all guilty in a different way. All our ancestors. It's just where we are in history.
Yeah, I agree. So, and I think, the longer this is drawn out, it's actually helped me,
I had the test scores to become a general, guys. That's what they told me. But I wanted to start out enlisted just to get that experience. And then I was gonna start moving towards general.
Be less
got it.
Like, I want to just hammer those people that didn't get this and cause this to continue as long as it has. But now I'm like, I just want everybody to get along. So let's just work together and get this done. I don't care about that. I don't care about being right. It doesn't matter to me anymore.
Yeah, once you've made your first couple million, bought your house in Florida, fucking retired with your bank account stuff full, you probably don't care about it anymore. I don't care about this or that or anything. I just want to all work together and hope there's not a class action lawsuit against my fucking peanut looking head.
That you were like, in everybody's face telling them to put the mask on and get vaccinated. I don't care anymore. It's all vindicated. Let's move on. Let's work together. Let's create a better world. Now, some of these cities, I think, unfortunately, don't play. And I've heard Juan O'Savin. I've said the same thing, that there's some cities that are not going to come on board with this. Now, at some point, I think Trump has to come out, because we're not going to see, like Juan said back in, I think it was last summer. He came on one of my shows and said they're building 2 new video platforms down in Guantanamo that can live broadcast. New studios, and he revealed that
they built 2 new courtrooms down in Gitmo that are much, much smaller and do not have access to the press. It's not live streaming studios. The press was very upset about what was going on there, or what could potentially go on there.
Yeah, there's going to be several cities that just aren't going to be able to come along, and they're just going to be. I've said for years, some cities are going to have to be isolated. What are your thoughts on that?
There you go. Let's just rope off cities and be like, you're not part of the United States anymore because you didn't know that Biden was an alien actor played by James Woods and also a reptilian because he fell up some stairs one time and he's an old guy and forgets what the fuck he's saying all the time. So because you didn't know that, you're going to have to stay in this city we've roped off and is no longer part of America.
Possibly so. I mean, once again, because it's, you know, I think it's probably 3 to 5% that just absolutely won't or refuse. You know, because you can't eliminate all evil. That's what I've been telling people. You know, when President Trump said 75 to 85%, that's fine. That's a pretty high number in a different way. But you know, you can't eliminate all evil. You can't just make some people once again participate or you know, be a part of anything. I mean, it's just like it goes back to that responsibility once again and accountability. I mean, and we see it in all walks of life. We see it out there, and I think that's the case. I mean, I think some people think this is going to be some kind of sure shot, like, or a sure shot miracle. And I'm like, you don't realize how many people are working on this daily, boots on the ground, boots in the sky, and they're truly working. It's once again sleep deprivation, sleeping in random places like you and I have. You know, like a lot of people don't really realize still that it's
boots on the sky.
There's still people working all over the world. And then there's always going to be people who just absolutely won't do it. And we have a term for those as we.
Oh, yeah. Safe trip back home, Atsuko. Make sure you make it home safe. Let us know when you make it.
But we won't probably say it on here. But there's a term for those in the military. But, you know, it's unfortunate, but I do believe that. And I also heard, I'm trying to think who it was. Someone came up to me at this event Saturday in East Tennessee. And someone they knew had just gotten back from Guantanamo. And they had been
This motherfucker was in East Tennessee, and I missed him.
Wiring all the fiber optics and all the new.
Oh, he's talking about that boots and refuge thing, right? Was that? I guess that was East Tennessee, technically. Where was it at?
Courtroom. So, you know, I mean, that's it's you know, not a secret out there. And then of course it's been out there. It's like all the multiple more rooms, more space. And I went back, listen, it was 2016 when President Trump, we're going to load it up with some really bad dudes, tens of thousands. You know, tens of thousands.
Sure. There's lots of things that could change, starting with fucking term limits and I don't think any them or their trust or their families or their husbands or anybody should be fucking trading in stocks while they're sitting in Congress. I think there should be term limits. I think they should eliminate a lot of lobbying money out of campaigning and donations. There's a bunch of stuff that could immediately take stuff off the table that is turning politicians into billionaires for corporate sponsorships. All the way down to like to smaller elections, but it's not that Trump is the secret president secretly of the world, and he's teamed up with Putin and Xi Jinping, and they're going to take over the world and bring back it to the next dimension because it's a military operation that was planned by Kennedy, and of course not.
So. You know, there's and no one he said that in 2016. There's nothing that man hasn't said that hasn't come to fruition, and it's not because it's him. It's not just him. Like I try to tell people, this is a multitude of men and women all over the world, generals from the top down, working down, and came together.
Oh no! Oh, who is that? Who is that? Who's that woman? Oh, she had a bachelorette party. She's doing on that yacht. Who was that? Did you guys see that? The fuck was that?
We're just taking what they're putting out and dissecting it for people. You know, and I hope, you know, I pray one day that way.
I like the idea of politicians wearing sponsor jackets like that. Yeah. And they come out and they're like, how did you decide to vote on that bill? Well, we had a really good team today. I'm going to tell you what. And, you know, we sat in session for about 3 hours. And when I come out of there, we had a good set of snacks set up on the table. It was more of a buffet, if you will. And I had several people resupplying the crackers and resupplying the cheese. And I want to shout out to all those people. And of course, AstraZeneca has always been there by my side. If you suffer from allergies or pet dander or erectile dysfunction, remember AstraZeneca the next time you're up for nomination.
Advisor to the president or something like that, you know.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to do with my hands.
But you know, it's like, you know, we're gonna have to. I don't think people realize that life's going to go on. Life's going to move forward. You're still going to have to eat. Still going to sleep. You're still going to live your life. And I think so many people need to hear that from that angle, but they needed to hear it from the military mainly because of the hurry up and wait.
And you know, I did see Chuck Grassley a couple times slip down in my lane. He's giving me the look back, and I just went for it. I went to the inside, signed my name before he could sign his, and overall a good day.
It's a process. And I tell people all the time, turn your phone off, mute it, unfollow. Go hunting, go hiking, go fishing, go surfing, whatever it is that floats your boat. Go do something. Get out. Look at the stars at night. Go camping. Something like life.
But make sure to donate before you leave.
As long as you're breathing and God wants you on this planet, We're going through this, so enjoy it in the best way you can, because we all suffer from. We still suffer losses, and it's like my grandpa said, it's life, son.
It's the final day now. I'm completely adjusted. It's going to turn it on its head tomorrow.
Just 3% would be like around a little over 9 million, almost 10 million. So that's a lot of people. So we're not going to like force them to come along. If they want to go in those cities and hang out, I think they're going to have that option for a while. I think eventually most of those people are going to want to come along, because the world we're going to be creating is going to be absolutely phenomenal. They're not going to want to miss out after a while. So those numbers will dwindle, and eventually we'll just clean them up and redo those cities too. So it's looking really good. So if people are interested in connecting with you, what's your website, Derek?
Yeah, so the documents.info is what I've been using the most. And there's so many fake accounts out there now. That's what I do. I just send them all.
I wonder why he went back and deleted all of his torture evidence from his documents. I mean, I still got the original ones because everything on the internet's there forever. But I wonder why he went back and deleted it and changed it to where he wasn't tortured by Obama soldiers.
The documents.info, and that's having all my correct links up. I was forced to get on Twitter because I signed this mainstream publicity contract, and they were like, "You got to get Twitter," and I'm like, "Please, no, not another one." But not for the sake of people, but I'm like, I can't talk in like limited spaces. Like I'm like, I need, so it's like it works great when I.
We've noticed.
It works great for those things.
We've noticed.
When I'm trying to like make a point, so I end up having to screenshot something from Facebook or Telegram, and then just post it as pictures on Telegram or on Twitter from over where the people can read long amounts of information, not too long, but just a lot longer than what you can on Twitter. But and it's already grown, so Twitter's popping. I eclipsed 50,000 this morning.
He called him Gary.
Just post once it's up on for the sake of people, because that's the count.
What's your website, Derek?
Derek.
I'm like, okay, what's the most important that I can say in 9 minutes? I still try to squeeze Lewis. He's like, hey, come on, no, I helped you get down to 20 minutes, on the tour, and I'm like, yeah, you did, because I still squeezed 40 into 20. Now I'm squeezing 20 into 9. So
very, very nice. And I remember when you first came out on YouTube, that was a great, such a great reveal. It's like you and David, Rodriguez, he did that reveal, and then he blew up, and you were the same way. So you've been an incredible gift to humanity. Your insights and your
a gift to humanity.
Knowledge base. So you have met President Trump, and you say he's a funny guy. Tell us real quick before.
Oh, see, Chuck, have a good one.
He's real witty. I mean, he really is. And he's in a pocket. It's not like a dad joke or something. I'm like, he's really. For instance, the second time I was there, he when he's got you in your presence, you don't look anywhere else. He's like looking right at you, and so. But you can walk in a room, and if he's not ready for you yet, I mean, he won't look over. He won't leave whoever he's engaged with. And I had to use the restroom the second time.
I heard he was allergic to peanuts. I don't know.
We're at this table, and he's here, and even Alina came in, one of his attorneys, and she came over to our table and sat down. He didn't even wave, nothing. So I had to use the restroom to get up. And when I came back in the room, he was like, "Come over here, come here." He's like, "So you never told me last time, are you a real cowboy or not?" And I'm like, sir."
That's what Trump asked. That's what Trump asked you. So you never told me, are you a real cowboy or not? Hold on. I wasn't even paying attention till this popped up.
When he's here, and even Alina came in, one of his attorneys, and she came over to our table and sat down. He didn't even wave, nothing. So I had to use the restroom to get up. And when I came back in the room, he was like, "Come over here, come here." He's like, "So you never told me last time, are you a real cowboy or not?"
Oh, fuck. You never told me last time, are you a real cowboy or not? That's the impression I want to leave on people.
I'm like, sir, like, come on, you put me on a spot here. I don't know if real cowboys even say that or not. And he goes, "Well, I tell you what, you're either."
Well, he's from Alabama and owns no cows, so the only belt buckle he's got was to commemorate his birth. So
you're a real cowboy, or you're one hell of a salesman. So that's kind of how in the pocket he is, but
how in his pocket he is. Got it.
It's really fun, and then he's he'll The thing with me is obviously he can't.
Jesus Christ.
Like any kind of press round, which there hasn't been, but he still won't acknowledge a whole lot because you never know who's sitting around and hearing it.
Oh, so he can't tell the press that they're best friends. He can't tell the press they're best friends. Okay? Blow the whole thing. He's like a mistress. He's like a side cowboy. Oh, shit.
What I'm saying is, it's the plan without the plan, right? Or it's like it is all .gov.mil what I'm showing, but
Trump was making fun of him. Trump was making fun of him.
if there's any kind of so he'll talk in code in different ways, but he'll go, I put up one hell of a fight, don't I? And things of that nature, because I'll drop it. Brooks Koepka just happened to sit there at the table, and they asked me about my.
Listen to his Trump, and I put up one hell of a fight, don't I? You sexy little cowboy.
Or it's like it is all .gov.mil what I'm showing, but if there's any kind of so he'll talk in code in different ways, but he'll go, I put up one hell of a fight, don't I? And things of that nature, because I'll drop it. Brooks Koepka just happened to sit there at the table, and they asked me about my buckle, and I said, well, cowboys like buckles and don't like stuff on the wall. If we can wear it around, and if it's something we won or we've done, and I'd rather have it on my buckle than on the wall.
But yours just says Derek Johnson, born this year. So what have you won or what have you done?
I said, well, cowboys like buckles and don't like stuff on the wall. If we can wear it around, and if it's something we won or we've done, and I'd rather have it on my buckle than on the wall. And so I say, kind of like that TV over there. In a few months, I'll be on Fox and some of those shows telling how this guy. And so I put his little slogan on him. I'm like, this guy is still your commander in chief via, and I just rattled off a few executive orders and codes. And he had been on the phone all morning. He's like my dad. My dad answered the phone and put it on speakerphone and still put it up here. And so he'd been doing that all morning on speakerphone. So he put the phone down, but when I was saying that, he put the phone up like this. And it's in the picture. I got that picture. And it was on speakerphone. And his other.
Oh, you told us you told us the first time he called somebody and said, hey, you got to listen to this. And then made you repeat it to him. But apparently the story has changed as well. Unless the press are around.
Phone was on the table. I tell people, 2 phones. There's your another sign. But this phone.
There's your another sign. President always has 2 phones. One for the plug and one for the low.
And the guy that was on the speaker, I don't know who it was. I still don't know. But he said it. This is why the tone matters. But he said it as if he's heard me before. And he goes, man, that guy, he knows what he's talking about. Like that.
Wow.
And I never got confirmed who it was.
Very cool. Wow. Very cool, Derek.
There we go. Cowboys got to be riding, motherfucker.
This is
out of here.
All right, guys. Lots of love.
Get along, little Derek.
Always, and we'll see you guys next time.
Look at that freeze frame. So you never told me, Derek. You a real cowboy or not? Do you think you could ride me for 8 seconds? Oh, home on the range. Guys, thank you for joining us. I'm Will Barr. This is Colbert Confessional. I'm out. Thank you for the donation and support. Thank you for the support and the sponsorship. We ended it and did pretty well. We earned a couple $100 that'll go to the stream that I won't have to make up in donations or ad revenue or whatever, or I won't have to pay to Dennis Leary because you guys keep making me an asshole on my own stream. Thank you guys for joining us. I appreciate it. I'll be around this week. I got another Patreon show I need to do. I did a 3.5 hour Patreon show last night, and there'll be one more Patreon show for the upper tiers of Patreon. That's the $15 and up tiers of Patreon sometime this weekend. Plus, I'll probably play some games, hang out, do some shit. We'll figure something out. Never, ever, ever let someone confuse you as to whether you're a real cowboy or not. Leave them knowing, but also wanting more. See you guys on the next one. Have a good night. Safe travels at Suko. You better go to bed. The fuck? Why did it change my audio input? There we go. Now she moves when I'm talking, not the music. That's right. That's a very good username, L1111G. It's catchy. Yeah, it's UMG is his whoever put out the song for him. They're the ones who claim it for him. UMG, Universal Music Group, I guess. Oh, you're good. You're good, man. It's just a joke we make. I made more in the 3 or 4 donations I got than I would on ad revenue. It's no big deal. It's just a joke. Burn away. Also, just in case you're like a former NSA secret agent, as well as a follower of mine and live streamer, if you're going to invite everybody in a group somewhere, make sure you're inviting them to the right spot, just for future reference. That's right, Phil's third wife. They are pretty funny. Jack to the Future had a funny one earlier today on TikTok too. That's the no one specific, just in case, someone hears that. All right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to keep doing the thing where, I go live on Twitch and hang out with you guys and play a video game or do some work in the background before we start. Maybe an hour or hour and a half. I think we did an hour and a half today, maybe 2 hours. So if you're on Twitch, you'll get more content out of that, and then I'll start broadcasting everywhere else, even the replays and stuff. I'll fire them up afterwards. I would like to move it into, obviously Destiny started this. Destiny's doing something right. I think I may be able to grow my community like that some. Maybe. We'll see. But it's only available on Twitch during most days, except for Fridays, basically. It's only available on Twitch. Have a good night, everybody. See you on the next one. That's right. Mustang Sally. No bullshiffer.